Hey, hey, did anybody come in tonight? Did anybody even get my message? If you're here, give me a heck yeah. Anyone out there? Anybody else here? I know there's some people coming, so we'll hang out and wait for them a little bit. Yeah. Uh-oh, there they are. Ed, Faye, Roger. Hey, everybody. Well, that's good. No one's going to be able to see my face tonight because I don't have a webcam. So you get to look at the gorilla with a ring around it talking all night tonight. Anybody have a good selling weekend? How was your selling weekend? Anybody get any big sales this weekend? Or I heard some people had slow, fast, but I guess that's what the business is about. Some people win, some people lose some days. What are you looking forward to, Leon? I don't have a lot to say except to answer your question. I know you've been having a problem I've been reading about today. Kaylin, look at our little crowd of people keep showing up. How awesome is that, man? We got a little crew here that's going to wreck some Amazon sales. So, July 11th, guys, we have announced the launch of the Amazon Bootcamp July 11th. If you haven't registered, make sure you do. It'll kick off on the 11th. It's 2 hours. It's on a Saturday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So I don't know where you guys might all be at or how that affects you guys, but that's when we came up with the best time to do it. I went back and looked at some of the other webinars that I've done, and it seems like that is the best time because I've had the greatest amount of views and live views at that time. I guess it's because it's the weekend, and that time tends to work out to the evening in some areas, and it's 11 o'clock in China instead of 1 o'clock or whatever it might be. So there's some advantages there. By the way, Ed, is it Ed Stronsick and Ed Stronsick? Is that the Ed that's in here? Hey, Sean. Dave B. Jackie says hi. Allie and Luke. Is it Allie or Luke that's here? Yes, it will kick off. That won't be the first week. That'll just be the introduction. And then the course, the course actually starts that day because we'll open up the membership area. Man, we've got some cool stuff we've been working on. We've been working on a bunch of tools. I think I've got some Excel spreadsheets that'll help you kind of define and make it a definitive a product search that you'll be able to go back through and look at. We're talking about adding 25 products on our list of products that we think you should take more of a look at. Now, these are products that just basically passed that initial IVT, so they still need to be sorted, and we're not going to, we're going to give you the numbers for them, and you guys can decide. All right, Luke. Hey, Aaron. Sean missed my noon call. So that means I must have had an appointment with you, Sean. I don't recall that. Is that Sean, my Irish friend? Anybody want to come chat live? We can hear your wonderful voices. Ed, if you slow down, if your internet's slow, sometimes it'll take a minute to get caught up. Hey, Ed, if you're still listening, Ed, and you get there, your connection, you need to make sure you turn off all your other stuff. Now, by the way, guys, I don't have a topic tonight. We kind of keep this as an open topic. If you haven't been here before, what this basically is tonight for you guys to ask questions, for me to share, any information I have. So that's what we're here for. Or just to talk about your wonderful issues. Hey, by the way, we know this deal. If I go away, you go away, we'll still be here. That link keeps working. So as long as I don't shut this thing down, that link will stay open. Just come log back in. Here, and let me put this in. Here is the link. Okay, so I don't know if any of you guys, hey, by the way, that is the link to, if you'd like to come on the stage with me and talk instead of me just doing all the talking. If you'd like to come ask some questions live instead of in chat, you click that link in the chat box for me, and it will bring you right on to the stage with me. MTFBY. I'm not good at acronyms. Anybody got any help with those acronyms, Aaron and Roger? FBGM, FTBYW. I'm sorry, I'm not as hip, or I'm not as good. I've never been good at watching Wheel of Fortune and guessing. Never. So this week I've been watching, and some of the things I've seen that I wanted to comment about is that I also noticed that, hey, it's Hillary. Oh, there are you. How are you doing? Riding down the road, bad man?
Hey, Rob.
How crazy is it? You're riding down the road talking to me. Oh, there comes my... Oh, there he is.
Yeah, this is Ted in Spokane.
Yes, Ted. How are you?
Oh, good. It's a little hot here today. We hit 108.
Ooh, it was spectacular here in Nashville today. I mean, it was probably, I don't know, 77. No humidity today.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
we had our big 3-on-3 basketball tournament here today, and it was a little hot for it.
Right. I spoke with Brian this week.
Yeah, I talked to him Friday, and we're looking for a few things to just throw up quick and get some cash flow going. And hopefully we'll get things ironed out with our bundle in the next week or so here.
Well, we'll get that ironed out this week.
Yeah, that's looking good. We're pretty excited about it. It'll be good.
Let me give everybody just a basic heads up. I'm not gonna tell them what we're doing.
Okay.
So Ted and I and his son Brian are working together to get a product launch for these guys. We've been working on it for about a week, 2 weeks now, maybe 3 weeks. We spent some time every week looking and searching. We found a product bundle that we're actually putting together right now. So that's what's going on right now. And we're also looking to try to get a couple of quick products launched maybe here shortly too. My main thing I think I got to tell everybody, and my mantra this week is I don't care what you got to do, get a product up online, period. You can't make any money until you do it. You can't. So get out there and make something happen. How are you doing there, Sean?
Hey, doing well there, Rob.
Don't you wreck the car, by the way, Ted.
Oh, no. I just tooling down to pick up some takeout for dinner.
All right.
Thought I'd join the crowd here.
What are you doing, Sean?
Hey, I'm just hanging out with you. It's been about a week since Friday since I sold my business.
That's what I was just going to mention.
Yes.
Sean has now become a full-time online seller, at least for the temporary time.
In a small way, but I'm ramping up. I hit $1,000 in sale today for the month, which is good. But I'm planning on doubling it every month.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
What else you got going on?
Gosh, actually, I'm getting ready to get on your webinar. I really want to start getting into private label. I've been a lot of stuff going on. I haven't been able to concentrate on it, but I plan to do so, and I've got a couple ideas. But I'm just thinking about what I need to pick right now.
I gotcha. Well, that's exactly what we're going to try to do. Our goal is on July 11th, I want to have, which would be 5 weeks, because the first real week would be that first week we go in. So the 17th, from that day, my goal is to get everybody in there. Now, people are going to have to work. They're not going to be able. They're going to have to just make a decision. Now, we're going to approach this thing in a sample-oriented way in that part of it. Now, people can do whatever they want, but if you want to get something done quickly, I have a solution just to get everybody a product launched. We need to pick something and get it up. I don't even care, but during that time, we're going to get some products up for some people, I would think. So that's the goal. But people are going to have to be willing to make decisions, and you're going to have to be willing to get stuff done. And I'm not talking about a big product launch. I'm talking about people taking $200 to $500 and getting the product up in 3 weeks, because I've decided the #1 thing that anybody can do in the world to get experience in this business is to put a product up.
I agree.
Because it makes you learn everything. I mean, if people out there spending $5,000 on a course, hey, spend $500 and get a product up, and I'll guarantee you that. I mean, it's kind of simple.
Yeah, we spent a little time going through some closets and garages and found a few things to just send in, just to start some cash flow. Yeah, it's not as hard as it looks. Once you just get into that Seller Central thing and just start doing it, hopefully we'll have a few sales this week, and then we can just dump that money into our private label product.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. Joe, are you there? Joe. James. It's not James, isn't it? Right, James. Andy, are you going to talk to us?
Yeah, hey, can you hear me?
Hey, Andy, how are you, buddy?
Doing good, yeah.
You guys with all these tricky names, man. Like you're showing up to the party with the wrong name tag on.
Yeah, well, I had my computer just black screened last night, so
I read that.
What are you gonna do, you know? But fortunately, my girlfriend let me use her laptop, so I'm back in action.
I'll tell you what I've done this week. I just made a business decision in my life that I was never going to go through that again, and I'm just going to pay the $100 a year for a terabyte of a place to store it. So I just went ahead. I had, I don't know, 50 gigs on Dropbox already, so I just paid the $9 a month, and I guess that's now a cost of living, just like a phone. Gotta have
Yeah, sure.
You know.
I
Business
agree.
expense.
$10, man. You have a terabyte. Like, I doubt many of us have a terabyte of information. That's a lot of crazy amount of information. And if you want to get and then the other thing is, I mean, it's like 200,000 songs. You know, it's a crazy, I mean, 200,000 songs. It's a crazy amount of information. But, I mean, and if you go up to the next level, then it's unlimited. I think it's like $20 a month for unlimited all you can get, and there's probably better deals out there. I just know I knew how to operate Dropbox. It was there on my desktop. I literally in the last week have just taken everything on my computer and just created Dropbox on it, and now I use 4 different computers in my life. By the way, I bought a brand new all-in-one PC today. And yesterday, basically, it's a flat panel monitor for a computer. It weighs if it weighs 2.5 pounds, I'd be shocked. It will fit perfectly in a carry-on, you know, those little zipper roller bags you take for carry-on. It fits exactly in a 19.5-inch carry-on, and that's it, man. I'm telling you, it's about an inch. I don't even think it may be an inch, you know, deep, and it's a full PC, and I bought it at Sam's Club, and it was the table model, and I pulled it off for $230.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And the deal is, though, I'm not a laptop guy, and so when I travel, I need to be able to travel with something small. I would like I have a 19-inch monitor, you know, and it just slides in. Now we'll see how it goes. I'm going to Vegas on Thursday. Actually, this is a secret. I share stuff with you guys that don't share with other people, but there in Vegas, I'm going to scout because next year in January or February, I'm setting up a Vegas meetup. So I'm going to scout locations for it, and
cool.
We're going to do like a 3-day like really crazy boot camp, and I'm going to get some people to come in. We're going to have a big time. So I'm going actually to scout locations while I'm out there. So.
Cool.
Anyway, so that should be fun. Anyway.
Hey, Rob.
Yes.
So I was wondering, the webinar tonight, is it about anything specific, or can we kind of ask general questions or...
Yeah. Oh, no. On Sunday nights, this is really just a hangout for all of us gorillas. It's a great place for you to ask anything. Hey, Roger, make sure you talk to me. I'll be there next week. So the thing is this is just really a place for all us gorillas to kind of get out on Sunday and hang out and share, ask questions. So if you got a question, absolutely. Any of you guys that want to ask questions, that's what this is about. So.
Okay, yeah, great. I'm sure I have 100,000 different questions, but they may kind of be a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Okay, hit them up.
Okay, so before my computer went down last night, I was using AmaSuite, and kind of like, you know, looking into certain products, and well, I do a lot of machine work, you know, kind of with CNC equipment and, you know, that sort of stuff. You know, I like to be creative in the shop. So a lot of the times when I look at products, I'll see it, and then my mind will start to wander, and I'll you know, think like, oh, well, you know, what changes could be made or what could be done to this to make it different so it's a standalone product, as to like remove some of the competition, so you're not just taking another product off the shelf that anyone else has access to, but one that makes it yours.
Let me ask you. So,
Go ahead.
So you don't have a product launch right now? You have a product up for sale?
Not on Amazon. I've done some stuff outside of Amazon, and I have created and I'm selling products. But I'm very new. I've been about,
Don't feel bad about that. I was just trying to make sure where you were at so I could answer this question or give you some of my feedback on that. So I appreciate the fact that what you said makes a lot of sense. My only issue for people getting started is that the undertaking of that is it will make about 98% of people fail because it becomes there's already a million things you got to get through to launch a product. So my deal is that's why I like one or two or three things. I either want to create a bundle. So I want to take and make my own product. And my own product is these two products or these three products or something that makes those products together, individual. So which then, because if you're wanting to be separated, well, if there's nobody selling those, then, they can't jump on your listing because it's a unique product because you created it. Now, I don't know if anybody has heard me talk about this before, but there are three things that I think you should do that will keep you as safe as you can, guys. Somebody could jump your listing at any time, and they're going to do it. I talked to somebody yesterday who had their own listing, had a listing jumped by somebody who wasn't even selling the same product. One's selling a lemon zester and one's selling a garlic press, that far off. But guess what? Amazon didn't instantaneously take it down either. This is the federal government. You got to have it stamped 3 different times. So anyway, my thing about a product when you first launch, I don't think that you're wrong in wanting to have your own private label product. And a private label, let's make sure everybody understands the difference between private label and white label, because about 98% of people white label products are not private labeling them. Private label means exactly what you were talking about, Andy. So what that means that you're going to go to a manufacturer and you're going to have them specifically create or make changes to a product that they make specifically just for you.
Right, but okay, so if I understand correctly, private label is finding a product which already exists. The machining, everything's been done. If there's any injection molding, all those molds are made, and they're knocking them out at 50 cents a piece, and you're just putting your name on it, whether it's a sticker or a print or whatever, and then that is private label. You're not actually changing the product, you're not putting an extra handle on it, you're not putting something like that on it. You're just
private label. No, private label, no. What you just described was white labeling. Private labeling means that you are making some change to it, that it is unique to you. Now, you could come up with a product from scratch, or you can take someone else's product and modify it by something. But private label basically means that you have taken a product and made enough of a change, and the technical term is that no one else has that product. They're not selling it to anybody else, so that manufacturer manufactured it that way just for you. That's a private label product. A white label product is where you just basically put your name on top of something that's not been changed, and they sell it regularly to anybody.
I see. That's the first time I've heard white label, so all right, that's good to know.
Yeah, if you look that up, and put that in the definition, that's how it'll come up. And so white labeling is what people it gets interchanged a lot because it's used the same. Private label and white label are used almost interchangeably right now in Amazon. But the difference really is white label is I'm just taking and putting my logo and branding someone else's product that they will sell to anybody. And private labeling is when you actually go out and make some kind of change, or you put it together differently, or whatever it might be. But nobody else, nobody else is going to be able to sell that product that way. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to end up with a patent on it or anything either. Now, what you're talking about tooling. Now, listen, the difference. Now, if Paul was out here, Paul does exactly what you talk about. He goes and he works with people who come up with, hey, here's my pencil drawing. I want a product. Recently, I know he just developed a product for a guy who does he wanted like a thing that goes in a locker. It was like a locker shelf, and you put it in to the locker, and it was made out of plastic. And so they developed this whole product all the way processed through. So that becomes a patented product, obviously. But I just think unless you have a lot of money, and when I mean a lot of money, I think if you're going to develop a product from scratch and do it at any level, I would just think you better have $40,000 or $50,000. Now, I mean, I could be cuckoo with that number. I mean, that's just my opinion, and anybody else here can log in. I just know if you're going to develop a product from scratch, it's going to cost a lot of money.
It depends on the process. It depends on the materials, but yeah, it can get very, very expensive.
Anyway, and all I'm saying is I think that's a great idea, and if that's an aspiration that people have, well, man, make that happen. I'm not saying do that. All I'm saying is don't start there. That's my only advice in this deal is don't start out putting yourself behind the 8 ball trying to figure all that out. How about figure out how to get any product up on there and selling? Any product. Get one. Because one comes before 100 for sure. And I tell people this all the time. I promise you, the first $100,000 you make in this business or any business, no matter what it is, and Sean and those guys that run a business, I'm sure that first, when you get across that 100, is the hardest 100, because that's really where a living can start happening.
I totally agree with you on that, Rob.
And then the $100 to $1 million is the easiest I ever did. So I'm telling you right now, it's so hard to get 1 to 100, but when you turn it into a real business is when you get past about $100,000 a year, and from 100,000 to $1 million is so much easier than the first.
Right.
Well, that's very encouraging. I like to hear that.
So you just got to sit down and dig. I mean, it really, because what happens is listen, I've lost everything in my life. I don't even want to. I quit counting, but it's at least past 6. Like, I mean, I have ridden the roller coaster of life now, and that's because I was in the restaurant business, and it's the most unstable business on the planet. So, but I mean, I opened and shut 25 of them. So, you know, I mean, and I had several that made it past 5, and one that made it for 13 years. So you run a restaurant for 13 years in the same location, and mostly bar business, not restaurant business. So anyway, I would just tell you that the hardest things in the world always are hard up front, and then once you kind of learn the process, it's just repeat process, create more process, and that's exactly what a guy like you will be able to do. It's once you learn a process, and it has to become a process, you know, and once you learn that process that works for you, and anything that I ever learned or anything, I just listened to everybody else that's out there. But then what I did was I applied some common sense and things that I had to learn in my business as it was going along. Like, you know, there's just no one out here that's a genius at this. And you know what? There are people that are crazy more successful than me at anything that I do. But you know what? I don't care about that. I care about my lifestyle. I care about the lifestyle that I live, and I'm not trying to be a millionaire. So if you have anything to hear me to say, I'm not trying to be a millionaire ever again. Listen, it's just my deal in my life. I want more peace. I want more sanctity. I want more fun in my life, because I worked for 25 years, you know, 70 years. I work probably just as long. I work a lot, but man, I get to smile and have fun. So, you know, my experiences in my life matter. So I'm not money motivated in the sense that I'm trying to make $1 million. Now, if we make $1 million, that's great, but I'm going to do it in a system that's so easy that I don't have to manage it 24 hours a day. Someone the other day made a comment in a thread that I was in about, well, Rob Fortney hasn't made $4 million like I make a year. And my response was exactly, I don't ever want to own a $4 million company, because that's a job. Okay? If you're managing a $4 million company, you got a job. I don't care. You got taxes and employees and warehouses and just nonsense that's going to go on in your life. What I want to create is easy. I want 20 products and I want those products to all be making at least $1,000 a month, because I know if that's my goal, that every time I turn around, I'll beat that expectation because I'm hopefully picking the right products. Now,
So Rob,
yeah,
these 20 products, are you referring to white label products or private label products? Or, I mean, which is the one? Again, this is the first time I've heard white label products. So is that what
Okay.
you're encouraging more than private label? Because it seems like it would be faster to white label.
yes, it's 1,000 times faster to white label, and it's still, depending on what product you pick, if you started today, that's why I tell people it's so important. If you started today, it might be, I mean, it's realistic that it can take you 90 to 120 days to get something here if you ship it from China. And if you're going to produce something, oh my God, it could take forever. I mean, you could be 5 months, 6 months if you're really private labeling. Now, that's just long. It could be a lot shorter than that. People do it in 60 days. People do it in 30 days. It just depends on what you're doing. My only advice in this deal is how can we figure out how to get you a product up and going as quick as we can? And then work on number 2, work on number 3, work on number 4, but at least get something up and start selling and learn that experience. Because here's what I told somebody the other day. I said, okay, how much money do you have? Well, I got about $5,000. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you want to spend $4,500 on this theory that you think you know? Or do you want to risk $500 and figure it out and screw it up and, and don't worry about if it sells out, just figure out how you can sell it. I don't care what you got to do. Learn how to do pay-per-click. Learn how to get reviews with this product that you're not emotionally invested in, A1. A2, if you can somehow figure out how to make it make any money. If you can get $1 of your $500, that needs to be your goal. If I can get $1 back of my $500, I won, because I just took the best $500 course that's ever existed in the Amazon business.
So, yeah, I've got another question here. So I was using AmaSuite last night and going through the categories and the subcategories and trying to really go all the way down to the bottom. And then I looked at the products which looked which looked good. And I was going over to Alibaba and AliExpress and seeing what they had available. But I was finding hundreds, at least dozens of other products which were similar, which I couldn't really find for sale in Amazon. But to me, they looked really good. So I know that kind of like a lot of the discussion is focused about finding a nearly identical product and then trying to kind of conquer, the competition. But what are your thoughts on, testing the waters with a product which is similar yet completely different than than what you see listed?
I mean, as far as me, I would suggest you do that. I mean, I look for something that is. I always want to try to figure out how I can have something better. I don't go for cheaper. Some people might be that their deal. I want to find the best quality for the best price. You know what I mean? I want that middle of the road. I don't want a tire that's 100,000-mile tire. I want a tire that's 60,000, not 30. You know what I mean? Like, I try to go for the meat of the road. So I'm trying to find. I'm not trying to copy products. I'm trying to find I really would rather have. Most of the time, because sometimes it makes just a bunch of sense to follow the leader. Now, I'm not saying it always that way. Listen, I experiment all the time. I'm not afraid to take risk. I'm not afraid to experiment. So I'll throw $1,000 up at a product in a second and just think about it. I ordered some stuff on AliExpress today to do a sample on it. I'm gonna run 5. Go ahead.
So let me ask you, I mean, I know that, sometimes you're out there just kind of fishing, taking a chance. How many, personally, for yourself, products have you, tried and kind of, I know you test the water before you go ahead and pull the trigger with a large order, but I mean, generally, on a percentage scale, how many are really, successful? They're making money every month, percentage-wise.
I'm thinking. Well, it's like betting the horses, to tell you the truth sometimes. I could sit here and tell you that it's rainbows and sunshine, but you know what? Here's my deal. I don't think I've ever lost more than half of my money, and I might be a little bit off. Because
Okay, fair enough.
I'm saying on a product. So if I put in 2,500, I at least got back 1,000. You know, meaning
1,000 after expenses.
no. I'm not saying profit. I'm saying lost 1,000.
Right.
I mean,
no, fair enough.
Yeah. But here's my deal. So, but the upside was I could have found a product that made me 10,000 a month. That's why you do this. You're in business. It's risk. It's part of the process. And if you don't just take that as part of this deal, then you're not ready to be in business, because business is risk. It's a poker game that you're trying to play. You're trying to guess. I mean, you've got competition on here, and you're trying to hold your cards. You're not trying to let them know what you're doing. Everybody's looking at everybody else. Everybody's hustling everybody else. Everybody's trying to figure this out, and there are people ahead of you who know how to trip you up. So at the end of the day, you want to try to make yourself unique, so they're not they're not going to see you as the competition you are until it's too late, because you've got a product that's unique, it's the same, and you just created added value to it. And I've got this new thing that I'm trying right now. I'm trying to do 3 products well, actually I got 4 coming right now, but I'm trying to do a combination of 3 products, and the theory is that 3 products come in, and they're all like $11 products, and I can source them all for around $1 to $1.50. So, you know, the combination of them is like a $30 product if you add it all up. But I got $3 in it. So it's a bundle, and it's got some things in it that are all in the same, you know, realm, like you talked about. But my thought process is what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of surround the competition, because I'm going to have this bundle. It's these 3 products, and then I'm going to have those other products separately or in doubles.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead.
A lot of times I will see a product, and if Amazon owns it and selling it, they always have the top spot. But a lot of times I'll see the products, especially now, are add-on items. So if you decide to go, you know, if everything looks good and you know there's money to be made in that product, if you're selling it through FBA and it's not an add-on and you're selling it at the same price as Amazon, do you believe that that will give you a strong edge?
Trying to understand exactly what you're saying. Can you ask that again?
So a lot of times I'll see items and they're add-on items, $35 or more, you know, sort of a thing. So if you're able to offer the item with free shipping and you don't have to meet the $35 requirement to get it shipped, as the other seller does require, I mean, obviously you're going to have an advantage.
Yes. If I think I bought that and got that in.
Okay.
Here's my deal with Amazon. I don't want Amazon selling more than 3 products for sure on any page that I'm on the front page. You know, if they've got 3 or 4, and Amazon always is not the number one, like, listen, and I don't believe a lot of things, and I don't believe, you know, I don't believe in Santa Claus, but I try to believe the fact that the Amazon, I feel like they have some sense of righteousness inside of them. Maybe not the people that work for them, none of that, but the internal, which means I don't believe that Amazon would set themselves up to create that anybody on the earth working for them would come out and say, listen, you know what? Amazon has an advantage because they're programming stuff in there to take money from other people. Now, they do have the advantage that they know what the algorithm looks the best, but that doesn't always mean they may not have a product that's good. But 2 things. If Amazon's on that page, that tells me there's money in that page. If Amazon wasn't there, then, I mean, Amazon's not stupid. They're going to buy a product that sells. And so they get those products. Well, at the end of the day, I want Amazon on there, and somebody tells me at least there's one person selling Amazon that's from it's Amazon selling it, then I know that there's enough money on that page for me to look at it for sure. Now, if there's too many of them, I've seen pages. I swear I saw one page one time, and I could not believe, like 9 or 10 of them. I mean, maybe I was exaggerating, but there was more than you could possibly think that Amazon owns all of these products. but they did. So that would not be a place I'd want to be. Anybody else got any comments? I'm the only one talking. All you guys are hanging out. Say something. How about Aaron? James, I know it's not James, but he came in and he left maybe. Anne-Marie.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Say hi to everybody.
Good. Yeah, I'm also Jackie.
You're also Jackie?
Yeah.
Man, you know what? I've decided all you guys, everybody on this whole deal is all using fake names. Everybody. Everybody has another persona.
Oh, not true, not true. Okay. Two things. One, it starts on Saturday. I want to know, is it going to be every Saturday or every day for that week? And will you repeat the session for Saturday morning?
Figure that out.
You're breaking up a little bit.
And is it any better?
No, it's a little still stiff.
It's Canada. It's Canada.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try something else.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back to you in a second, Anne-Marie, because let's see if we can get the signal to get any better. Joe. Joe, are you there? Joe, what's up? Hey, Joe. We're missing you now. Maybe he's going to catch up to us. All right. Aaron, you're next on The Price is Right. Aaron. Maybe I'm that far behind.
Hey, Sean.
Hello.
Hey, so if you don't have a private label product, have you been doing arbitrage to get going so far?
Yeah, what I've been doing, to be quite honest with you, is that I've been buying lately 75% of my products from Amazon, and I'm flipping back to Amazon, making a pretty good profit.
Nice.
I'm serious about that. I'm with another Facebook group, and I tell you, I mean, it's so far I've been doing pretty. Sometimes you can buy 3 or 4 items at a time, but as soon as I get them in, I just send them right back to Amazon, and by the time I send them back, the price went back up to their regular price, and I'm getting probably like 100-200% ROI. I mean, and so what I'm doing, that's what I'm doing to build my, kitty up, so to speak. Rob mentioned, I sold my business, but my wife's been kind of keeping the reins on it, so I'm trying to do this on, like some people would do it, like if they, didn't have the money in the bank, so to speak. So I'm kind of earning my way into it, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like it's working for you.
Yeah.
I've been doing.
There's a lot of things on Walmart right now. You can flip with toys, for example. There's just a lot of items right now that you can buy, and it's unbelievable what they're selling on Amazon for. So that's what I'm trying to do, trying to get some seed money up.
Here's my problem with that.
Okay.
I mean, so are you actually are you buying a product on Amazon, having it shipped to your house free, right?
Yeah, no Prime, not using Prime.
Only Prime.
No Prime. Yeah, I'm ordering if I order over $35, I'm getting standard shipping. It might take 4 or 5 days, but I don't care about that.
All right, but you're ordering a product.
Yeah.
And anyway, you're getting it shipped to your house.
Yes.
Then you're turning it back around in the same box and putting a new label on it and sending it back.
Bingo.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to make sure, because I like that way better than what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, the thing about it is I got turned on with it about 6 weeks ago. I tried it. Like, for instance, they had these Air Hog cards or something. I'm not kidding. And they're like $22 Amazon. They had them on sale for $7. I bought 2, just to see what happened. And a week time, they went back to $21, and so I made about like $12 profit on those. So I'm doing that with clothes. I'm doing that with I'll show you what I've got right here. I got these Ninja things real quick. I bought these for like $5.24. They'll sell them for like $19, $25 for that. These right here, these Sensi Silk, these are actually gloves on Amazon for $19.77. Third party, Amazon's got them for over $100, and they're the only one that do an FBA. I just bought 4 of those, for example. I mean, I'm kind of testing the waters, but what I like about it is that you're not having to go back and scan retail. I don't have time for that. Amazon's already selling it. I'm just rebuying it from Amazon because their quantities, I don't know why they put stuff on sale, but I buy it, and I buy it in at least, $100, $150 increments. I buy like multiple products. It comes to my house. I label them. I set them back up. I put the price on them, and so far so good. So some things may take longer to sell. Some things be more like fourth quarter items, but right now that's what my plan is for right now. Did we lose you, Rob? I think we lost Rob. I think we lost Rob. Aaron, you taking over?
Can't hear him right now.
Okay, all right. He may have lost his connection on that, so we'll see what happens on there. So, but
Hello, I'm back.
You back? Okay, took a break.
Hey, I left it up on I was talking to you in the chat.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. In the chat. Okay.
Hey, listen. If I go away for a minute, you guys just got to keep rolling.
Well, that's what we're doing.
I know. Someone just start dancing. I don't know.
Okay.
Time for a shot, maybe, in the bar.
All right.
Someone needs to sell me a mic. It's
All
not,
right.
like the deal is there's like there's a plug on the back of it, and if you touch it, it comes out anyway. It's a USB mic, so that's why if I touch it too much. But
Right.
Hey, we're gonna try to get this whole thing. I'm getting new internet this week, by the way.
Cool.
New internet. So I've been doing what you're doing, but I'm not touching the product. Meaning, like tonight, I sold something that sells on Walmart.com on sale for $39.
Right.
And then I'm drop shipping it. I'm selling it on eBay. I don't like messing with Amazon with that deal. Like, cause if
Doesn't the packet slip go inside the box though?
no, they ship it as a gift.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard about doing that. That's a cool idea, actually. I like that also.
Listen, I'm making a couple $100. Okay, I mean
that's cool.
To me,
I'm going to try it because you're doing it.
and by the way, I'm not doing this. I mean, I'm doing it, but I'm doing it with tandem with somebody else.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So what I do is I do a lot of like, I call them micro investing.
I got you. I understand.
I'm trying to cover 10 different things at the same time and find something that works, just like a product, man. You know, listen, I come up with dumb. See, I'm a risk taker, so I come up with dumb product ideas sometimes, and you know.
Yeah, I like the innovativeness. Trust me, I've been doing internet marketing for 15 years, and I gave it up to my manager. He's taken over it, but to me, this is a lot better. I like doing this because there's so many things to do besides. For those that don't know, I used to own a horse store, a tack shop, and it's interesting. It's a good market, but it's a very niche market at the same time. And the thing I think right now is replenishables. That is something, even though I'm engaged in health and beauty, not yet groceries, that's something I need to start working into just as a repeat type thing. But you got to have enough ability to have products out there to source from.
So people asked about talking about dropshipping and getting out of stocks. Well,
Yeah.
listen, I don't approach stuff the same way as other people. Let's just say I've got some things that I'm using that are in an experimental stage.
Okay.
So I've got some deals that are giving me some information, hopefully that will help me from doing that. That's all.
Okay. I gotcha.
So because out of stocks are what kills you on that, and then all of a sudden you go out of stock.
Bingo.
And
I
turn
totally agree.
You're
Yes.
screwed. So I like what you're doing way better. I like the Amazon flip better.
Yeah, because the product's there. Once you get it, you move it out. But it's a constant thing you have to buy all the time. And as soon as you get it in, you got to ship it back out. You can't have it hold around, have it hold there. But make sure you list it at a higher price, because sometimes those things may sell quicker than you realize.
Well, I love the product flip. I think. Listen, I'm not gonna go to Vegas and I'll play I'll play blackjack, but that's it. And I don't gamble a lot. My life is made of gambling, so I don't like to give away my money.
Right.
I like to use my mind a little bit if I'm gonna gamble, and I'll make a educated gamble guess more than most people.
I don't even play the lottery. I don't do that. Right. That's just a waste of money.
Right. You know why? Well, here's why I don't play the lottery. What if all my luck comes? What if I use all my luck up and only win 100,000? You know?
That's true.
I want to win 100 million. So,
Right.
Actually, 100. I remember when I was 27. I mean, I was young, and I remember saying, "I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire." Yeah. Well, they forgot to tell you if you had a million, you probably had another million chasing you down the road in debt. So.
Right.
It's not the party we all thought. My cousin and I came to Nashville ultimately. I wanted to be a music producer. He wanted to be a music star, I guess. And so 5 years ago, he ended up getting a record deal. I got to go out and ride around in the tour bus for the summer with Toby Keith. I mean, we had this big old time. Had a top 20 hit. Top 10 thing on CMT. All this stuff. And it's kind of like TLC. Well, what happens when you're done? When you got to the top of the mountain, you realize there was 8 million other mountains ahead of you, and you still ain't making any money because it just doesn't work that way. It's like as soon as you get to the top of the peak, there's a new peak that you got to go. So you're always chasing. So that's why I get scared when people talk about ASM. When they talk about I want one product. I don't want one product because I'm scared. I don't want one business because I'm scared. So I want a $5,000 week, but I want my $5,000 week separated by 2 or 3 incomes at least.
You want to diversify.
That's why I kind of what?
You want to diversify. Yeah.
Well, and even in my whole theory on Amazon is that, which is I don't want to get stuck with one product. I mean, I read a lot, guys. I spend a lot of time reading about what people are doing. I mean, I spend a lot of time, and I see people all of the time getting themselves in trouble.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because they're all of a sudden their supplier doesn't ship their stuff. They got a problem. The supplier's factory burns down, whatever it might be. Now all of a sudden their stuff ain't coming, and they're doing. I mean, I hear those numbers. There's people telling they do $80,000 a month, and I appreciate they do on one product. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you got $80,000 months and your product goes away, your lifestyle's fixing to change a lot.
Yeah.
And your whole business is gone, like everything. And if it's 3 more months, that means that you're going to lose $75,000 in those 3 months. Because if you're doing 80, you're making 25 a month. That's 3 months. It's $75,000 you just lost because you couldn't get your product in stock. How many more?
You mind if I add a link about a guy who does private label?
Do it all, man.
It's what you're talking about. This guy is really good. Anyway, it's when you have time, guys, read it. I'll go ahead and post it. It's by Web Retailer. Talks about a private label guy, but later on, read it after the seminar or the webinar.
Perfect.
So just the other day, I found out about. I guess eBay's got this new program that they're starting. Not that I want to get too far off subject, but it's called, I think, Sell For Me, something like that, where you're supposed to either sell or Just take your stuff and drop it off down there. Does anyone have any experience with that?
Oh, you mean where like you go and drop it? Make sure I understand. Where you're gonna go drop it off at an Amazon location?
Okay, this is eBay. This is what eBay is starting to kind of.
No, right. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Get Amazon, and it's called, I believe, Sell for Me. And eBay is offering this, and you can either put it in a box and send it to them, and you don't label it, you don't do anything, you don't take pictures. They do all the work, and then there's kind of a price guide, and it breaks down, what they're going to give you. It starts at like 60% you take home, up to 80%. But you can, I think, essentially go there with a truckload of stuff, and you drop it off there. They kind of do some research on the product, and they'll list it and try to sell it within 3 weeks. If not, then they'll lower the price. But a lot of the control is certainly taken out of your hands. But again, a lot of the work is definitely taken out of your hands.
Oh, listen, my whole goal in this whole business is to automate this thing as much as possible. I want to have a VA, that I pay, 3 or 4 hours a day, 4 hours a day, sends me emails, puts them all together, because I want to continue to travel and do what I do. So, I mean, I try to make my life as automated as I can. Now, I make it complicated sometimes because I'm addicted to that rush of trying to create something and make something. So, but I want to always be thinking of things and trying to. I mean, that's my creative part. So, how about you? What are you doing there, Ben? No. Zach, what are you doing? How's you got to go to work, and we'll have to get you out of here early tonight. Zach always stays up. He has to go to work in the morning and stays up till 4 in the morning.
Hi, Rob. How's it going?
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just going 4 a.m. here. I'll start work at 10 a.m.
Well, how's the store doing?
Yeah, the store's okay. It's that's fine. Obviously, I'm more concerned about online. Online's obviously the much bigger marketplace. Last time we spoke, since then I've had a sample through. It wasn't as there was a bit of miscommunication, but I've had a sample through. Going on what you guys are talking about, and especially Europe, when you're talking about automating everything. Have any of you had any experience? I know I'm mainly based on eBay rather than Amazon. Have any of you guys had any experience using FBA stock to get it sent to eBay customers?
My thing is you have to have such a margin because you're paying another 15%. So yeah, there are people out there to do it, and I love the idea. If you can make any money on it at all, my deal is money's money. So if I can make $3 instead of $6 or $5, on a big enough margin, it doesn't matter. I mean, you're having to sell a product. You're probably going to have to be in that 35 plus range for that to make sense to me. You know what I mean? Because if you got a product, I don't know, someone's ringing me somewhere. Like, we're so crazy hooked up now. Like, I'm on here, and people on Skype are calling me, and people on Facebook. It's crazy how connected we are. But, so the problem would be is if you're going from Amazon to eBay, and it's being done right now, and there's services out there that will do, you don't have to touch it. It's automated. And I love the idea. I'm not doing it, but I think that it's a good thing to do, and I think I want to eventually move into that because it doesn't matter. It depends on how much stock you got. You know what I mean? Also, how much do you want to split it up? If you're in a bigger buy situation, and so now you're getting a container shipped, or you got a big buy coming in, you got 2,000 of them, and you got inventory, and you're willing to take a lower price on it, then then I think. Why not? Because here's the other thing. What I would say? You know what? That just occurred to me, and sometimes it does that way. Listen, think about this. If somehow you can get items sold on eBay, right, through your Amazon account, basically someone else is advertising your product. It's like a pay-per-click almost on eBay. If they search you over there and come up and click your product there, you get a sale on Amazon, which brings your BSR up, and you didn't spend any money to market that. So if it breaks even, that's a win. I would think. You're just pulling that out of my head right there. Anybody else have any thought on that? So what I'm saying is if you have 500 products at Amazon, you're over on eBay, and the service, basically, they buy it on eBay, they make your order on Amazon, and then they have it shipped. And you don't touch it, but you're going to lose that 15% Amazon or eBay fee, right? So it's like, so if you're going to make $10, all of a sudden now you're going to make $8.50, right? Am I missing that?
Yeah.
Does that make sense to anybody out there?
Completely get that.
What?
Get that. Especially when you're spending hundreds of dollars on, say, like Zomblast. I mean, those things are expensive. So, like you said, if you were to try the eBay and Amazon method, that does make sense financially.
I think it makes crazy good sense, and I never thought about it. See, that's why I come here, because I figure if I can talk to other people who are doing this, they're going to tell me something that I haven't thought of. But you know what? That's a great strategy. I'm going to try that because it just makes sense. If I'm selling product and I'm still making money on eBay, I've spent nothing, and I'm getting sales which affect my BSR, which is, I think it's good.
I actually do it personally. I've got a few products on eBay that I sell, and I fulfill through Amazon. What happened was I basically bought like a liquidation lot, found out that I couldn't actually sell it on Amazon directly, so I set it as inactive in my inventory, and I posted it up on eBay. So every time I get an order, I just create a fulfillment order, have it sent out.
So you're using Amazon as a fulfillment warehouse?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but you keep the item inactive status.
Right, so that way it doesn't actually show up on.
So you won't double sell the item.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand.
So when you're doing it that way, the multi-channel fee when selling on Amazon, they charge you something like $5 just to take it off the shelf. So you're paying eBay's 15% plus a $5 to have Amazon multi-channel fulfill that. Is that correct?
They charge like a handling and shipping fee, plus like your standard storage fee. But honestly, on these products, like I got a big like liquidation lot. I actually found out they weren't like the true authentic version of what I thought they were. So when I sold it on eBay, I clearly state that, but since eBay doesn't really have as much of restrictions on like the specific products that you sell, I'll use that as a different fulfillment to unload some products that I need to. So I mean, I'll still make like a little bit on each product. It's not like a huge margin, but it's just essentially a separate avenue to get my orders fulfilled through.
Yeah, that's one thing I was wondering about. If you have a product for some reason that you can't sell on Amazon, whether it's because it's just restricted in some way, or maybe it's something you haven't been ungated from. But if you wanted to, for say, have Amazon fulfill it, send it to their warehouse because that's the part of this.
No, if it's restricted, you can't even send it in.
So you can't do multi-channel. You can't.
That came up in the Facebook group that if an item is restricted for whatever reason, you can't even ship that item to Amazon, even though you wish to use that as a fulfillment center. Amazon will not allow you to do that. I understand your point, though, but
for example, like you can't sell used clothing on Amazon, but you can on eBay. So you couldn't send that into Amazon and have that fulfilled?
No, they will not. If it's not new, they will. I mean, I've never done it. I'm not saying, but what I understand is that it goes against their guidelines, and if you do that, you're jeopardizing your account, your seller account, by doing so.
Right.
I wouldn't risk it.
Well,
it does. I understand what you're trying to say, though, but that was brought up in another Facebook group a couple days ago, and it seems logical, but that's not going to work in that situation. Like, if you wanted to sell, say, soap bars of soap but you're not engaged in health and beauty or health and personal, then you're not even allowed to even send it in because they won't allow you to even list it.
Right. So multi-channel fulfillment through Amazon under their discretion and guidelines.
Yes, right. Yes, correct. That's what I understand.
Well, that's exactly. So there's two ways people are doing it. So obviously the multi-channel and then drop shipping, which sucks because at some point
it's chancy. I tell you that you're at the beckoning of the warehouse person to send it off, and I having dealt with vendors for 15 years. Sometimes you just don't know what's going to happen in the warehouse. You hope they sent it off, you hope they did it, but sometimes things don't happen, and sometimes it could be the post office or UPS not doing their job either.
Rob, with this thing, Amazon to eBay, excuse me, wouldn't it be an idea to, if you're going to purchase the item yourself and pay, the 15% fee, could you not create a coupon to give you a discount just so you get part of that 15% increase off?
I don't know about that.
No, well, I mean, you're the one paying the 15%, not the customer.
Right. Yeah.
The customer buys it for what he buys it for, Zach.
Correct.
So, it's us just paying part of we're just paying more. But, I mean, someone's put up the fees. You can see what the multi-channel orders do. But at the end of the day, I've never done that, and I think that, as I understand it, because I just never mess with it. Aaron, you're saying basically Amazon just becomes a fulfillment center for your product, and you basically pay them as a shipper handler.
Right, yeah, so that way I don't have to, if I have a large inventory or something, you can also leverage it if, like, I guess sometimes on eBay things will sell for more than they will on Amazon, so if you can still get the higher sell price on eBay and then use Amazon to do your fulfillment, you might pay a little bit extra, but essentially you're offloading the work for your eBay sales.
Can you take something? So you're saying you can unlist. What you did was you had a product in there, and did you originally intend to do it multi-channel, or did you swap it out?
Yeah, I originally planned on selling it through Amazon, but when I got the product in hand from the liquidation, it was like an as seen on TV product, but it was supposed to be made in like Czech Republic, and I found out it was just like a Chinese product. So the Amazon listing that I had it originally listed in, I couldn't sell it under that as like the true authentic Czech Republic product. So I ended up just listing it on eBay and listed out that it was made in China, and just set the product to inactive, so it's not actually showing up as me being an active seller on Amazon. So every time I get a eBay order, I just go in and create a fulfillment order. Right now I'm doing that manually because it's not like a huge amount of orders, but I am looking at integrating like Ecom Dash or something like that.
Yeah. So you're going to automate it if you had it. Listen, you're just trying to strip this product anyway, so that's not. But
yeah.
I mean,
essentially, that does sound like a workaround.
It does.
Although not exactly, it's kind of gray zone, but that kind of, because this is essentially, it's because it's an imitation. It's not permittable to sell on Amazon.
Right.
But you got the listing up there. It's inactive, so that you're never going to get any complaints from Amazon customers saying, "Hey, it's supposed to be made in Czech, but it's Chinese made."
Right.
But you're still getting the warehouse to fulfill it. So there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
But Amazon will do that for any. That's one of the services. Amazon's totally down to take your product and ship it for you. Meaning, if you have a store and you just want to get your own, it's basically they charge you less for that, obviously. So there's 3 tiers. There's you get to order and send it to them, they ship it. Then there's we'll get the order and you ship it, and then we'll ship it. I mean, those are the. I mean, unless I missed one. Anybody know any other way you can make money? Probably can sell. I mean, Amazon's got their hand into everything. SKU Banner.
Yeah, check that out, Rob. I was on a webinar about a month ago. It's a guy out of New York that sells vacuum cleaner bags and vacuums, and he has created a business where it'll be multi-channel over different eBay, Amazon, Sears, whatever. Again, it's interesting concept. And the pricing's very nominal too, by the way.
We're gonna have. See, that's what these things are about, Sunday nights, guys. It isn't all like that. Don't worry about ever. We can talk about anything. We can talk about YouTube. One night we were on here and we talked about, Tony was on here, and we talked about people making money on YouTube. Hey guys, we're all entrepreneurs or we wouldn't be here. You have to have a certain sense of something different than the average person to be doing this, and that's just the sense that, hey, where is their money? How can I make money? And how can I be a hustler? So at the end of the day, that's why we're having these conversations. I'm just trying to find the quickest hustle. That's all, and the easiest one. I used to have these guys, and I had no idea how much money they were making. But because I was in these, I was in some nice places that I owned, and I had these bathroom attendants, man. And they'd come in and they'd work the bathroom, and and it was cool as heck because you'd always go into my places and there'd be a guy in there, and you know what a bathroom guy is. And so, but the number one thing was it kept people from messing your bathrooms up, breaking stalls and making stuff bad. So they'd be in there, so it was worth. I mean, I'd have paid the guy, but he was always like, "Oh, don't you never had to pay him?" And I'm like, right? All of a sudden, I don't know where I'm at. There's this conversation. And this guy's making $400 a night. He's hustling me.
Yeah.
I think I got the best deal on earth, and he's got the best deal on earth.
That's right.
By the way, I cannot now see. This may not make me look like a nice guy when I tell you this, but I assure you, the game did change after I found out he was making $400 a night. Because guess what happened? There was a $50 fee to be there then.
Right.
I mean, that makes me a bad guy. You know what? I created the opportunity. Yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, you had a good deal till I figured it out. But you were in a place that I spent all my time, money, and effort to get people in there and paid all the rent. You're paying some rent if you're making that much money.
That's all right.
But yeah, so you never, so what's the quickest way to make money? However you can. But obviously, I want long-term and easy, and I want it secure. So that's why I want a number. What was the brand the other day? I saw someone's brand, and they were like my dream guy, man. I think they had like 40 products, and I scanned, like, I'll bet you. I mean, no. I think if it's Goodfelts, Goodfelts, I think. Man, go look at their portfolio. I think it's Goodfelts. Maybe I'm wrong, but those guys, when you run Jungle Scout on their product category, I mean, like, you'll just drool on yourself because they've got stuff over and over and over again that are selling crazy numbers. Like, those guys win. Hey, by the way, that's a technique that I try. I'm almost doing that 50% of the time right now when I'm looking, because I go to these guys like this. I'm going to go figure out what they're doing. I'm going to copy somebody. You know what I mean? Like, if you find successful sellers and they do it multiple times, go find some stuff they're doing. Goodfelts. Maybe it isn't. I'll tell you. I'll find it. Give me 1 second.
All right. And they're on Amazon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Heartfelt, I think is
Heartfelt, okay.
I think.
Do you type that in the search end? Where do you find your items at? Under the search bar?
What now?
How do you find their items?
How do you find their items? Oh,
Yeah.
when you go in and click on their listing, this isn't them, but
Okay.
but they have a great little brand. I looked at these guys, but this isn't the one. But these guys are selling the wool dry balls. But if you go in and then you look at it and it says from, and it has the title, and then at the end it says from, and it's heartfelt, and you click on it, and then it shows you their whole store. Anyway, I don't know what the name of this other product was. I'll have to look at it. But, I mean, these guys had, I think they had like 8 or 10 pages of just, and it was all random stuff. These guys in that the one I just talked about, Heartfelt, they, the other guy's logo is similar to this, and I don't know what maybe it's just another brand that they own. But they're not even like, if you look at their stuff, like, they just put the logo in it, not even on the stuff for real. Like, it's a tag, but it's not. I'll run Jungle Scout on their page and tell you what it looks like. Anyway, so that's one of the things I do. I love going to look at other people's stores. I mean, if they got stuff in there, I mean, they pick winners, like, there's probably a good indication they might know what they're doing. So this guy's store, so he's been doing the same thing. So he sells he sells $25,000 a month in 8 products. So he makes $6,000 a month. He makes $1,200 a week profit. But he's got a 4, an 8, a 3, a 4, a 2, a 6, 7, and a 9. That's what his numbers look like. So yeah, definitely. But they've created a brand, and don't wool dryer balls.
So I got a few questions about listing things. I have some items which I picked up which don't have a SKU number on them, but if you don't have a SKU number when you're making a listing, they kind of, Amazon's like, well, you got to have the SKU. So I mean, it's not like you could just make one up. I mean, or what are you supposed to do in that sort of a situation?
Come on, someone tell them the simple answer.
What was it? I'm sorry, I was listening.
Ask it one more time.
Yeah, please.
So when you're making a listing on Amazon, and because I had this item which I had purchased, a bunch of them all, buy low, sell high, and I can't find a SKU number on the thing anywhere, an SKU or any sort of number to put in the listing. I guess Amazon really likes to know, what factory this thing came out of. I don't, but it's asking for a SKU number. I don't have one. What do you do?
You don't need one. Amazon will create it for you.
There you go.
Okay.
It's only for your tracking purposes. Yeah, it says it on there. If you don't have one, Amazon will create one for you.
Sorry, maybe I'm thinking of what the ISDN number or whatever.
Oh, for a book, you mean?
Well,
No.
all right, let me pick up a product here. Here's some Kirkland allergy medicine, and it's got a barcode, and now it's got a number 96619536009. So, like a lot of products you buy, probably the majority of them have whatever number, I don't know the title of that number exactly, but they have some number.
UPC code.
UPC, okay. So if So I have a bunch of stuff that I bought. They don't have any sort of code or number on there, but it's asking for it. How do you get around that? What do you do?
You can go to a couple websites. One is called Youpsi. I'll put it on the thing. LOO.
It doesn't need, listen.
That's one of them right there. You can also reverse UPC too with another one as well. But this one, if you go to Youpsi.com and you describe what it is under the category, it'll probably bring it up for you. Not 100% time, but most of the time it will.
I'm still lost at what's happening. Like, whether or not, I mean, you just saying you have a product that doesn't have a UPC code on it? Is that what you're saying?
I think so. Let me see if I can recreate the situation here, and I can give you a little. I can explain myself a little easier.
Unless you bought like a multi tool pack, and you're trying to go ahead and sell them all singly, then you would need to have a separate UPC code. I think that's what you're trying to describe.
Okay, so I'm in Seller Central. I go to Add a Product, and it says, Add a Product, find it on Amazon, or create a new product.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't find this particular product anywhere on Amazon, so at this point I have to create.
You'll have to create one, right?
So it'll go and it'll say what category is in, yada yada.
That's a process.
And let me see if I can get to the point where.
This is where if you know how to do a flat file, it's actually easier to do a flat file than try to create their. It's like a 6-module thing than what you're trying to do. I know it sounds complicated to say that, but. Because you have to have the image, you'd have to have the UPC. You would have to have a UPC code, which you would
have those like printed on it.
Yeah, you just make a printing label and put it on it.
Yeah, right.
Just make up your own number and put it on there.
Yes.
Well, you just go buy them. If I think I'm hearing you, I mean, if you want to get a UPC code, just go to National UPC and get one for $20. I think they'll sell you.
Oh, you can buy them on Amazon for less than that, or eBay for less than that. But yeah,
I agree. Listen, here's my deal. So that's one of my other deals right now is so my 3 things, and that listen, I'm not going to a garage sale to buy UPC codes.
No.
If I ever gotta ask, if I ever gotta have a problem, I ship a file. My file looks like this. So I make a copyrighted piece of material that I put in my package that I copyright and spend the money for $35 for, and I just use it over and over again. So I have a generic copyrighted piece of material about life in reality, but how to live a good life. And so, but it's copyrighted. I made 5,000 of them, had them full color printed. I stick them inside of my stuff because that creates a copyright that if you don't have that guide in there, right? It's a 1-page guide. It's an insert is really what it is, guys. But it's a copyrighted, it's a guide. And so then the deal is unless you've you can't get my copyrighted piece of material, so you can't get on my listing. Then I want to make sure that my UPC code is registered. That I know it is. I have the copy of the registration, and I can get it from the, what is it, GSM-8, whatever that word is, GSM, whatever the registration. So then I want that. I'm going to try to get a bundle, and then I'm going to put my logo any place I can. If I got to put it on a package, if I just put it on the back of that guide sometimes. I just did a product that I'm working on right now that, you know when you go to concerts and you get the VIP passes now they have? So they've got it's like a cloth sticker almost that goes on. Well, the product's got cloth on it. I'm getting cloth stickers to put on the outside edge of this thing so that it's a bag, and it's like a nylon bag, and I'm getting these full color printed that basically will sticker cloth over the top of the outside. And they don't come off easy. You have to really pull on them. And so I'm going to make sure that I'm going to figure out some way to get my brand in there I'm going to figure out to make sure that, I'm going to do a couple of things that I can repeat over and over again. And then if somebody jumps on my listing, I want to be able to send Amazon that file quick. Boom, it's there. And, after I made my purchase, take my pictures, do that. But I want to be able to ship it to them quick. Because, every day someone's stealing my customers, I'm losing money. Anybody here have an attack? Anybody here have an attack from somebody and have them come in and give you a bunch of bad reviews or anything?
No, not me.
Well, wait till you have a listing and that comes and happens to you.
Rob, have you had that happen?
I have not. Thank God. I know I'm going to have to deal with it someday. I mean, I've had crazy, unreasonable customers, that you couldn't make happy, I mean, they don't come often, but, you give it to them free, ship another one to them, give them both free. You can't make those people happy, man.
No.
And I'm telling you, you need those people in your reviews. You need those people.
Mm-hmm.
People can recognize crazy people. I'm just telling you that. Okay? I mean,
work in retail for long enough,
right? You know what crazy people sound like?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, if you guys aren't using Feedback Genius to push people, if you're not using that to push people to give you feedback, you're missing the boat because it's a trick. I don't care what anybody else tells you. It's a trick, and the trick is make them think that feedback is a review. I mean, that's the real deal here. Let's not candy coat that, everyone, because what you're ultimately doing is you're trying to get them to give you feedback.
Bingo.
Instead of a review, and if they review your product, you just make them go away. That's the greatest deal ever. Oh, you're going to review my product bad? Oh, listen, Amazon, they're talking about how bad this product is. I'm sorry. I'm going to take that off. And they'll do it quick, too. So the only thing that they, and then once you get the bad review, or once you get a good review, then you go ask for the review. But, hey, guys, once you get 25, I swear to you, as long as you're doing promotions and you're selling, that you will see consistency in what you do. Reviews, I know everyone wants to push reviews. I'm not saying you shouldn't get reviews and push for them and stuff, but I want the sale. I don't care. I want a sale. Sales are what drive BSR. And BSR is what sells you products, what gets you organic listing, and that's what I want. I want Amazon to go, I want to do business with that guy, so I'm going to promote him. Hey, I know somebody last week that I talked to, who had a brand new product. They launched it, and they've been on page 1 for the first week for the biggest word I could find for that product category, and it's a product category that there are a lot of people doing it. Like, not crazy, but like pretty big. Like, I'm sure it was an ASM product. And right, so they're up for they've made, and they're on page 1. They're like number 9 on the page for 3 main keywords that are, I mean, I don't think they were exact, but they were main keywords, and they were on page 1, slot 9, and they had sold 17 items, and all 17 were promotions, I think, and they had 9 reviews. And they were on page 9. And that's my theory. Well, here's my theory, Sean. My theory is Amazon loves new sellers, and they love new products. And they're going to give you that first week bump. And that's why, to me, it is so important for you to do a launch and not just open your product. Now, again, other people do different things. I got 3 things. I want to make sure that I'm picking a product that I can be on page 2 and make money. So my goal is can I beat 32 people? I need to beat 1 of 32 people out of a room, and then he's the one that gets caught in the fire, or the bear. See what I mean? Like, so I want to get one person. I also want to make sure that I lost my train of thought there. You got me distracted. Where was I at? People walked in the room on me. You guys are all looking. I got 6 people looking at me. I don't have a clue where I was at. That's what happens when you're old. You know what I mean? Your mind goes out. Hey, there. Hey, by the way, there's our friend right there. Is it James? It's not your name, is it? It's what's your real name that you go by?
My real name, well, my name is Ollie James Hale. So James is my middle name.
All right. See, everybody on Facebook, everybody online has a persona, another one.
I use my own name.
I had a question, everybody. I just actually posted a screenshot inside of the live chat. Let me see, can I do a screen share real quick?
Shane, I see that. Oh, Amazon. Here we go.
Can you see that screen? Can you see my screen, everybody?
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Okay, so I'm using a tool called SalesBacker, and basically what it does, it's just like Feedback Genius, so nothing real new there. But my question that I had is like, based on the amount of emails that you guys send, and do you guys have a kind of an idea of how much feedback on a percentage-wise you're getting versus how many reviews you're getting on a per email basis?
Huh.
Look at yours. Hold on. That's low.
Yeah.
But I just switched over to this tool, and originally, you know, when you look at the 90-day point, you see that I had like 8% and 4% or whatever.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I switched over to the tool probably in the last 30 days, and I noticed that my the amount of review conversions have gone down dramatically. So it's just a new tool that I was checking out, but I was kind of getting an idea of what other people are saying.
Have you re-looked at your email sequence, the content of it?
I was originally using the same email sequence that I was sending before, and then I switched it up, and so probably in the last 2 weeks, it's been a different sequence. But all in all, it's still, I mean, even if you look at the last 30 days, you can think about maybe 2 of those weeks were my old email sequence, and another 2 were a new email sequence. I would think in the last 7 days would be more data showing of what the new email sequence looks like. So it's really not that much different from the old email sequence. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. So I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and switch back to my original tool, which I was just using the ASM tool for everything.
Yeah. What was your numbers like over there?
So if you look at the 90-day numbers,
yeah.
What the SalesBacker does, it actually pulls all your old conversion data from your old tools. I mean, from the old conversion. So you can kind of see. Actually, no, that can't be right because I'm looking at the email sent. So I'm not certain, but I do know that it was a lot higher than this. It seems like I would get like maybe anywhere from 3 to 4 reviews a day. And so you can see in this tool in 7 days I only got about 8 reviews or 9 reviews. So it was definitely a lot more for the same amount of volume or same amount of sales volume.
Huh. Well, that's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the reason I bring this up is that I was trying to, I'm just testing out. I'm trying not to be dependent on ASM per se. Right. And so I'm trying to test out different tools. So I'll probably switch over to Feedback Genius just to see how it works. So that seems like one of the tools that everybody goes after a lot. But this is just just some thoughts I was bringing out.
Ollie, I'm telling you, I think that whole deal is how good a copywriter you are.
Yeah. Here's the thing about that too. Going back, the reason that I bring all of this up is like, okay, so in my niche, I'm in the baby category, and one of my products has been doing, it's been doing pretty well. But then all of a sudden, probably in the last maybe month, a little over a month or so, a lot of people have started selling the exact same product. And somehow these newcomers that have come, they've like spiked up past me in the amount of reviews that they've had. Like, you know, see, like I have over 400 and 400. I guess, well, this says 449. I actually have about 478 reviews right now. And in the last month, somebody has come up and all of a sudden they're over the amount of reviews that I'm having. And I'm like, how can that happen in a 1 month time frame? Or maybe I give them a little bit more generous, about maybe 6 weeks. They've, you know, launched and gotten a whole bunch more reviews than I have. And so, but I can't figure out exactly what they're doing. I don't want to say they're buying reviews, but
they're buying reviews. Of course, they're buying reviews. What are you talking about? I don't want to say it.
I'm trying to take the high road.
let me tell you this. They are getting and paying for reviews. Yes, they are. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
there's no doubt
with that, it's starting to hurt my sales. And like I know you said earlier, you don't think it's reviews that help. I mean, reviews that really matter.
No.
In my space, I think it is, because it started to really hurt my my sales.
Listen, I'm not saying when you get to that. Here's the deal. I'm saying the conversion rate difference. It just gets obviously when you get up into that 400 and somebody can catch you like that. What's happened is there's the same equal amount of trust in them.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? So they don't care how long it's been up there. The trust looks the same, and if your products are the same, then it's just a matter of they're getting more chances to sell it because people have a higher trust level as much as they do in you. I mean, that number matters in the end. I'm saying for people up front, when you're in that 25 to 100, I don't think there's a big difference there. But no, I think in the long run, yes, it matters, because at your level, when you get close to 400 reviews, and somebody gets up and has 400 with you, and you're leading the category, how could it not affect you? I mean,
right.
It looks like they're your main competition. I mean, and they look like you're equal to each other.
Yeah. And so what I've had to do to combat that, I actually have on screen right now. You know, I don't really mind sharing a lot of stuff per se, but I ended up having to drop my price by like $5, because what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to smoke them out. I'm really, you know, I have the money to allow them to I have the money to stay in the game. So what I'm trying to do right now is just sell stuff at maybe at a slight loss, or even pretty much around the break. Actually, this is probably around the break-even mark. And just to see if I can, like, you know, smoke them out and see if I can keep them, see if they can keep that velocity of what they have or not. I believe, I don't know. So I don't know exactly how to actually go from here. I don't know how to actually. Say what now?
That sounds pretty smart.
Yeah, but the issue is this. I was hoping the reason how all this comes full circle is that, okay, I'm selling anywhere from 50 to 76 units a day, and what I'm trying to do is with an email sequence somehow get my reviews up so that at least, you know, out of some portion of these sales will actually turn in reviews, and then I can beat them out. But if you're right about the fact that they're buying reviews, then it's probably going to be one of those situations where if I get back over them, they're going to buy a whole bunch of more reviews, and we're in the cycle all over again.
Well, just keep trying to play the cycle with them, because, I mean, what's going to happen when they got 1,000?
Right.
I know where it's at.
I mean, can you find a cheaper supplier for the same product so you could, you know, you have even more wiggle room there?
I probably could. This supplier has been pretty good to me, but yeah, I probably could find. That's actually on my docket anyway, to find another supplier. But it's just one of those things where it just kind of sucks. You know, you're just, you know, I built it up to this point and I was pretty much coasting, and that's probably from my point. And, you know, I should have been more aggressive on some other things, but then all of a sudden for, you know, a whole bunch of new competitors to come in, plus new competitors that are all of a sudden getting a whole bunch more reviews in a short amount of time, you know, that's what kind of throws me off.
What's the price difference between you and the others that you're doing battle with? I mean, are you guys competitively priced?
So what ended up happening? They were priced. They came in and matched my price. They pretty much did everything. I'm not just again. I'm not. I'm always taking a high road. I'm not gonna say they copied my listing, but their listing looks very similar to mine, and to the point that they copied the exact same price. And so for a while, I'm like, things were going well because I had way more reviews than they did. But then once they surpassed me in the amount of reviews, my sales started to dwindle. So what I did was drop my price by about $4 or $5, and just to maintain, sales velocity, because I was starting to lose BSR because I was losing sales to them.
When you dropped your price, did your sales increase, or were they still beating you? Just on reviews.
When I dropped my price, let's go back. You go back further. So on average, I was doing. It fluctuated from the 50, probably like the 30s to the 50s. At that price, at the $14.95 price point, and then I ended up starting to lose sales. You see, I'm down here to 20. It was 18 here. It started to be inconsistent. And so that's when they were really starting to come in and hammer me. Then I think I dropped down to 20. Oh yeah, I know what I was doing during this time. I was trying some different ad copy changes around here. So some of that seemed to work, and some of it didn't work. Then when I dropped to like 19, 20, 18, 24, 20, this time frame, I was like, okay, it's time to make a change. So that's when I started dropping my price, and then that's when I started to shoot up in sales. So you see, like here, I was at 29 sales at the 1288. Well, at this price point, and then all of a sudden I started to shoot back up. So I was hoping during the time that I shoot up in sales that my BSR went up and that my rankings would go up, because that's the other piece. That's the other piece of the puzzle. My rankings started to be affected, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything different, but just new competitors. So that's what I'm fighting right now.
So when you dropped your price and then your sales increased, did your competitor also drop to match your price, or did they stay at the same price?
They stayed at the same price.
Oh.
So you're $5 under their price now?
$4.
You already doing other marketing stuff like Facebook ads and other stuff?
No, I didn't do Facebook ads. I did do something recently because one of my focuses is building my customer list that I can actually email directly. Yeah. So I just tried something recently through a service called Opt Intelligent. And what they'll do is they will allow you to create ads. Basically, it's just like a Facebook funnel, but this is basically co-registration, where if somebody wants, say there's a list of say you have an email list, or you have a email sign up on your website. What this site does is allow you to, as somebody is opting into your email list, they can opt into somebody else's list as well. So I was building a co-registration list for my product to email out at a later date for like kind of like the blast services, like Zone Blast.
Right.
So basically, I was creating a list of email subscribers that do the exact same thing.
And you could throw that into Facebook too, and they'll customize an audience, for you if you're going after moms, with kids that are, you're in the baby niche.
Yeah, I'm in the baby niche. Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that, because
so they'll build, customize a list when you throw in you got 2,000 emails, right? You throw it into Facebook for your customized audience, and that's what you're after. Maybe moms that kids that are age 1 to 4 or something that earn X amount of dollars, or if you're doing certain target audience, like whatever it is, Texas or whatever states you're in, or it's just all of U.S.
Mm-hmm.
I sell some different things too. I know I'm on the new what is it, Amazing ASM.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just I hate to hear you lose $5 and then your competition didn't. They kept the same price, and on whatever it was, module 1, 2, or 3, they're always saying, man, if you have 5 products, just don't get your hopes up and throw all your baskets into Amazon. So.
No, so
change.
Go ahead.
I said it's always changing. That's the deal. I mean, like you're experiencing what every person and product on the earth is competition.
Wow. Right.
And guess what? All the competition isn't fair.
Yeah, that's the sucky part about all of this. And like again, I know there's going to be a way around this. I'm working on some things right now where I'm trying to again build my customer list. Lead opt intelligence is just one way. I don't know if you guys saw this email recently as well with Facebook, where Facebook has a new ad platform unit that they're rolling out that will allow you to. I don't know if you see my screen right now. That will allow you to get people to subscribe to your mailing list directly from your phone, from their phone, from the ad itself. So it actually autofills everything for you.
Hey, by the way, that brings up a very big point, guys. The amount of sales happening on mobile devices is exploding. And so you've got to start thinking about what your listing looks like on a phone. Okay? And that's why Amazon says 80 characters, and guess what 80 characters fits on? Fits on a mobile screen. If you got 200 characters, it's horrific to look at a title with 400 characters in, or when they used to let you do it. Now you're under 200. Even with 200, it looks big. So anyway, that's because mobile's where it's at. Everything's mobile, man. Your phone's in your hand 24/7. So just always pay attention. I just want you to pay attention in that, and that's why everything matters in your listing. You need to keep mobile in mind.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think, did I have anything else I want to bring up? I think that's it for now. So I'll keep you guys posted on what I do. I got a few plan of attacks this week, and oh yeah, that's the other thing I want to bring up. You keep a while back you was talking about the wool balls.
The what?
The wool, those wool balls.
Yeah.
It's funny and again I'll just be open with you. You know that's like my next product, right?
No, I did not.
Yeah, trying to figure out. Yeah, so I actually have 2 sets of samples at my house right now.
Yeah.
With that product. The issue with that product that I foresee is that since it's so big, you have to ship it by sea. And
right.
that's gonna kill my it's gonna not gonna say kill, but I'm gonna have an issue with inventory management with that.
Yeah.
So
you know what? I'm telling you is right now.
What's that?
I swear to you, I've talked to at least. I'm gonna say, and I'll think. I mean, how many people do I talk to? I don't talk to that many people. I've had at least 4 people tell me that's their product.
Okay. So, and how are they doing, or do you know?
No. They're all in that same process. I don't know what happens. I think there's an alarm clock that everybody gets, but like I'm just, and that doesn't mean anything wrong. That just means you're on the right trail. That's it. Somebody and people get it, and that product's happening. It's like, why do things trend? I don't know, but they do, and that's a trending product. Let me tell you, if you can get your hands on anything bamboo right now, it's a winner. They're making bamboo everything. If you can get the word bamboo in your product, there's a likelihood that you're going to do well right now. Bamboo is the word.
That's funny. I'm looking at a bamboo product right now.
Actually, I am too as well.
There you go.
That's actually the same product on my list.
I'm paying attention, guys. So, yeah. hey, you know, you just keep moving forward.
Trying to figure out if I got anything.
Yeah, I'm fresh to Amazon, and on my seller, you know, when you see my the name or whatever, it's just launched. So I want to get ungated in automotive. It seems like I got a lot of stuff that's going to be going that route for the time being, anyways. And so as far as getting ungated there, it does ask for a new professional sellers, which I believe is me, are required to have an independent e-commerce website that can be reviewed. And then I've heard people talking about setting up an Amazon store. Is that what's going to qualify as an independent e-commerce website? Anyone?
One more time. I want to make. I get confused.
Okay, looking to get ungated in automotive, and then one of the requirements, you must be a professional seller, which I am. New professional sellers, which I believe that I am, are required to have an independent e-commerce website that can be reviewed.
Man.
So I've heard people mention start and make an Amazon store, and is that what I'm going to use as an independent e-commerce website?
Sean will tell you it is not that hard to do what you were trying to do. Nobody needs to be intimidated by getting ungated. Amazon, like everyone, Amazon's. I mean, 3 weeks ago, all I heard was Amazon was cutting people out, and no one's going to be able to get in there anymore. And then the last 2 weeks, all I've heard is everybody in the world's getting in for nothing. They're not even asking for anything, and they're letting people in. Last week, they were just like, it was automatic approval, apply approval, apply approval. People have no pictures, no nothing. And they were approving them last week. So I don't know what changes. But, Sean, tell them how you got ungated.
I tell you what I did, honestly, for auto, I had been ungated for grocery and health with receipts I had to do. But I tried twice with auto. Do it late at night. I'm talking about I'm on Central Time. Because what's going to happen, you'll get somebody like in India or the Philippines, and for some reason they're a little bit more lenient than if you're going to go through Seattle, which is during the daytime. I'm just being upfront with you on this. Try again, but do it late at night. And for your website, just put in your own store website for Amazon. That's what I did.
Okay.
Because I had the same question you did as well, and there was no pictures were required.
Sweet. All right. I will try it tonight.
Yes.
And then you have to tell us next week, because then we want to go, look, we got something done.
Yeah, for sure.
Anybody else got anything interesting to say tonight?
Anybody doing inventory lab for their current products besides private label to track their inventory?
I don't have enough of that kind of inventory.
Yeah, I was just curious to know.
I like your idea though. I love that flip. Me and you are talking tomorrow. I'm gonna do something.
Hey, listen, I'll turn you on to a couple of websites that.
I know you will. That's why I'm excited.
I'm telling you, and these guys are they're a family. It's a father and two sons. They're out of Indiana, and they're really cool. I mean, they're like, if I'm making money, I'm gonna let you make money, and they don't charge to do it. You just go on their website, subscribe to it. It's really, and the stuff they have is legit stuff. They check their rankings, they check the camel, they check Keepa. I mean, they're just not throwing stuff up there because it's on sale, because it's actually selling also.
And I bet.
Hey, a hustle's a hustle. If you work in the bathroom, you work in the bathroom and you make $400 in 3 hours, you know? I mean, so, yeah.
Okay, here it is. I just posted it. That's one of them. Godfather Deals. And that's a Facebook group. That's their website, but they also have a Facebook group too.
I see them all. I see it all the time.
Chris Wilkie and Jason Wilkie, and there's another guy, Mike Vaughn. They put stuff up, and these guys, they'll go on like a 30-minute run and throw up 40 items like that. And you know, you just have to figure out if you're ungated in some of these items. You know, you just have to go for it. Because so what happens? Some of these things go quick. And you can't hesitate.
Very cool. Anybody else have anything fancy to say?
It's almost 11 o'clock.
It's almost 11 o'clock. Hey guys, I'm ready to roll. If anybody else has anything fun to say, I'm gonna roll out myself. You guys, if you guys want to stay, I can just like leave the room open, and if you want to stay and talk, I think there's not many people in here.
Rob, I'm still trying to decide on a product. That's how I was really excited to get on tonight. And
well, Joe, we'll let you talk then. I mean, we're not
I'm here.
Sweet. I was doing research for ASM the last few weeks when I signed up for them, doing product, what is it called, the opportunities lists and pet supplies and health and beauty, and I had like 20 of them. I just, you go on some of these meetings and you ask questions, and it's just no one really answers questions, and I know some people are hurting with the supplement market nowadays and stuff, so I guess that's watching your stuff the last few days. Rob was really excited that you could pinpoint different markets and say yes, yes, no, no, yes, yeah. It's pretty fascinating.
Well, I mean, now remember, the only reason I'm able to do that, or I try to do that, is because I do not follow that ASM model. That's not my model at all. And so know that anything that I'm saying, some of it's diabolically opposed. And and listen, and there's a bunch of successful ASM people out there. I'm not saying that's a bad way. I'm not saying anything except for I want a slower pace in my deal. I'm trying to go in, and I want to and it was in my restaurant business, so some of these I just take from business. I want to be really badass in a category and not try to compete with a bunch of other badasses in reality. So I want to try to get in there and make $3,000 on a product, $4,000, and get out. I don't ever intentionally look for a $20,000 a month product. When I got an 8, I thought I was a bazillionaire.
Rob, when you pick a product and list it on Amazon, does it stay consistently selling for? Is it an indefinite period of time, or does it usually kind of peak and then dwindle down?
No, I think products continually. I mean, some of them do, certainly. I mean, what happens is the same thing happened to Ollie. I mean, there's always competition. There always is. And people are getting better and better at this game. Like, the more people that show up, the more unscrupulousness is going to happen, and the more, Amazon's going to, I don't know how they're going to get a handle on this reveal deal. But I'm going to tell you what they need to figure out. Here's how they need to figure it out. Listen, I know there's only a certain number of reviews that you can get. We know the response rate. We've sold 100 billion products. You know what the review rate is. They know that number. So they can keep talking about how they're not in on the review game. They have to be, because if they weren't, they know what it looks like. And you could set that algorithm all day long. If all of a sudden all these competition shows up with 400 reviews in a month, we know that's bullcrap. We know there's no way it's possible. It's never happened. It's outside of any norm of any statistics you would ever see. So why not just take that stuff down? And they're not doing that. People can say they are, but they're not. It's just not happening. And Ollie's watching money go out of his pocket, and people tell him it's not happening, and it is. So listen, yes, it's just like any product, man. Products come and go, but I don't. You guys will realize I don't have this forever experience in this business either. So some of the stuff I talk about, it has to do more with my longevity of any product. I think just more business knowledge is that, products do come and go. Ollie, didn't you trade out a product? You had a product you went in and out of, didn't you?
Yeah. So actually, I have a few products I've run in and out of, but yeah, you're right. One product, I'm echoing. Is that me? Hold on. Yeah, so one product in the baby niche actually went out of phase for me, partly because of not necessarily competition, but it was mainly because of reviews. So ended up having to move to another product, and That's been my issue for almost every product I've launched.
Is that people catch you on reviews?
It's been reviews. Two products were electronic products. The others were were non-electronic. And the issue has always been with the quality, where the factory doesn't maintain the initial quality, and they hit me on reviews, and it basically kills my product.
So how do you change that? I mean, my question is I'm not saying go buy reviews, but there's certainly ways in which you can get reviews. I mean, your product obviously is inexpensive.
Yeah.
I mean, here's what I would say. Here's my question. If right now, I mean, you're basically giving away reviews right now because you're selling the product so much cheaper that you're just driving sales that way. But you know, I mean, my deal is why not get your price back up and do some more outside reviews, give away some stuff, do some stuff to get yourself some reviews and do what they're doing. I'm not saying you have to go. I mean, they're putting big money in. If they got 400 reviews in a month, they got big money.
Right.
You know. So, I mean, why not take that as some of your tactics? There's nothing wrong with it. It's legit. I mean, you're not doing something illegal. It's not even against TOS. I mean, the problem is they figured out how to game the system, and they're gaming you because you somehow think it's wrong. And the deal is they make deals. They give their product away, and they give it away for reviews. They're just better marketers in reality. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I mean, so you've got to take that on yourself and say, look, okay, if that's the game, you just told me that several of your products went away, and what if you could have gotten more reviews to take down those lower reviews and left you up there? So, I mean, I like sales, and one of you guys said earlier that you talked about it. I'm not against reviews. I like sales better than reviews. That's all. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, if I send out a product and they just give me a sale, I'm okay with it. As far as a review, when people talk about getting reviews in those companies, so if you're doing $3 product promotions or $2 product promotions, and it looked like you're doing about $700-800 a day when it was really swinging. My thought process is why not? I mean, why not in a week give away $500 worth of product and take $75 a day and just use it as promotion and try to keep your price up, but get the sales through the promotion because he's making sales still.
Yeah.
You know, but
actually, you're right because from a marketing standpoint, so I'm actually on the Zonblast list, so I actually can see what products are being promoted on a daily basis. And actually, it was during the time that my competitor got all of those reviews in that short amount of time that I saw them on a Zonblast list as well.
Well, I got a list right now because I was preparing it for somebody else, and I'll pull them all down. I've got about, I don't know, 8 or 10 review sources right now that you can start going out and getting reviews. Some of them are paid, some of them are not, some of them are, you know, you just got to be aggressive. I've been creating this little list of people who like just actual reviewers that I can personally go find. But I mean, I just think you got to do some promotions. I'm saying, I mean, you're still doing pay-per-click. I know you're a pay-per-click guy, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, hey, listen, the other day I was reading an article, and the guy said this, and I thought it was so true. You know, oftentimes you hear people talk, and I've even said this before, you know, well, you know, have a great review or have a great listing, all this stuff. Listen, I don't care where you're at. Amazon is set up for this. Amazon is price-driven. That's what they're driven, and you saw it happen instantaneously. I helped someone the other day. They've got all this product that they bought with ASM, and they bought a product, and they spent $4,000 after their course. They got the product, and now they're sitting on 500 pieces. So the answer was, I said, look, I mean, don't you want your money back? Well, yeah. Okay, well, then let's quit trying to make profit, and let's get your money back. Let's get part of your money back, because as long as those things are sitting there and you're selling one a week, they're not making you any money. So let's figure out how I mean, in business, sometimes you got to cut your loss and get your money out and go reinvest it. But while it's sitting there, you can't go make any more money. It's just stagnant. So anyway, he ended up just changing his price, still makes $1 an item, changed his price, and now all of a sudden he's doing 3 or 4 or 5 a day. Price drives price. I mean, price drives the market. It just does. So, you know, I think if you can get your price up a little bit and spend more money marketing it and acting like you're relaunching your product in addition to what you're already doing, I think you got to compete with these guys. Why? Don't give up another product space. I mean, you've got money to do it. Meaning right now, you've got that income coming in on that product still. Let's use that income to market it. You know, I love that idea. I love the idea of going and marketing that thing on eBay and getting eBay and having them set up and have that sold that way. I love that idea because then you're getting other sales that are outside of Amazon and they're creating sales inside of Amazon for the same product. So I'm just saying, I think you got a couple options there where you need to be, you know, finding people to buy your product and get product sales that are, you know, in addition to what you're normally doing. And then obviously you want to get your price back up because you're clearly not making the money, but I think it's go get more reviews. I mean, copy the cat. Or you're going to be telling me about something else. I mean, your electronics product at some point was making money. So it had problems with electronics, which we know that, but people still make, there's still some guy selling your same product right now, I guarantee it.
Oh, it is. There is.
And he kept going. So the deal is that somehow you just got to keep overcoming that freaking bad reviews. They put up a review, you got to think I got to get 10 reviews if I get a bad one.
Okay. So anyway, I think my first plan of attack this week is I'm going to increase my price because it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I can still maintain a good sales velocity, especially now. Like I'm in the 300th in the baby category. Yeah. So I'm gonna still be able to maintain that, and then I got a few other things I'm gonna try again, going with the reviews and seeing if I can quote unquote, not buy reviews but get reviews. Yeah.
Well, there's very few people out there selling. I mean, the word selling is not happening a lot. There was some that were, but there's enough. I'll send you some. We're Facebook friends, aren't we?
Yeah.
I'll send you some. I'll send you that list of links tomorrow that I've been putting together for all the review groups and stuff.
Okay.
You know, and you just call them all and just go, hey, listen, I want to do a promotion. Some of them will go okay, and some of them go no. I don't, you know, your problem's going to be your problem's going to be more along the lines of having a niche problem that yours obviously it's a baby. So your people you're going to buy have to have a baby, right?
Right.
So. Are you building any Facebook community at all?
I have a Facebook community for the site. Actually, you probably would have seen that for a second ago when I was on doing a screen share. But it's not fully active at the moment. Like it was kind of like my launch platform, and then afterwards I kind of let it go.
Yeah. Well, the only thing it will do is you're just going to have a. Only reason I was wondering if you had developed one or not. I mean, they're very hard to develop. It takes tons of time, tons of effort, tons of everything to keep a Facebook community alive. Let me tell you, because I spend about 20 hours a week on the Facebook communities that I work in. So, you know, it's hard work. So to do that, but it's always just a good place if you had one to really try to start and promote. But man, I'm telling you, the guy that I helped last week, I mean, he made a little landing page, right? And he just started sending people off of, I mean, he just started posting it everywhere. And it just, you know, I mean, when you're at his level, it's so low. If you start getting any sales velocity at all and your price is good, all of a sudden, you know, it's a big momentum thing. And you've got your momentum back. The price did it. I think you could probably get closer to them, you know, and get them back up and get closer to them. But I would figure out how I'd get more reviews. I would make that my effort. Is how can I get more reviews? You know, and it's just by you going, okay, you know, I'm going to go give away 100 items over the next. And I would suggest you just add, I mean, you know, I would suggest you add in, you know, you add in 25 extra a week and do 100 over a month or something, 6 weeks or whatever. But that'll get you, I mean, but they're just giving that product away like crazy. You've got the money. Take some of that money and reinvest it back in the product, or you're just going to end up giving it all back.
Yeah.
You got the time. All right, Zach, don't work too hard today. It looks like the sun came up on you back there.
Yeah, that's right. It's daylight now.
Gotta love it.
Rob, before you go, last week you mentioned your course. Can you give us some more information?
Okay. So basically what I've done is I've just broken everything down. I mean, more than anything, it just takes everything that I've talked about and puts it in one location. And, I've created some tools, or I've got some tools and some things that, I've got a great toolbox with just a bunch of resources. It's just basically taking a lot of the things that I've done. I do product searches, but the main thing about what we're going to do is, and you guys are already getting it, but we're going to have, I'm going to have weekly meetups that we're going to do for everybody that's involved in it. And so there'll be 4 hours a week of live, conversation about only picking products, about analyzing products, about me doing searches with people, and, and that's where a lot of it is. And then, it's just going to go through and break down. I mean, I'm going to tell people, listen, I don't think anything that I'm saying is a secret. It's just a conservative deal. And I think people, in my mind, is all I've ever tried to tell anybody is I want to show you how to replace your income. That's it. If I can replace your income, if it's $100,000 a year, let's figure out how we can get your business to $100,000 a year. But I don't even care where you're at in your life. If you can figure out how to make $500 in your life next month that's extra, then it's, then that's valuable, because that pays a car payment, it pays, it pays for your electric, water, and gas. And then you can do what Ollie did, which is you continue to build it and move it up and turn it into a business, and you can quit your job. So the course is going to have video. It has video. It has everything in audio. There's a workbook that's going with it that has all of the stuff outlined. So, I mean, it's a pretty good outline. And my job during this 4 weeks that we do it is to get people to launch products. Like, people are going to have to be ready, because I'm pretty much going to be pushing on people to get this done. Now, I'm not expecting them to pick an entire, I'm going to get people launching a product, and then we're going to work on that long-term one, that's going to take you 60 to 90 days. Ollie, how quick are you able to get your product in and turn when you started?
He's muted.
You're muted. Oh, did I mute you?
No, I'm good. I'm good. So from when I actually got started, when I went, because I was actually, somebody asked me, was I ASM? So when I went through the ASM program, once I actually got to the point of ordering the product, my first product was here relatively quickly. So probably within the first maybe 5 weeks, or from ordering the product to delivering it to my house to actually sending it to Amazon. That's pretty much how quickly I was able to get up and start running and getting sales.
That's what I tell people, man. I swear to you, I can get a product up in, for sure, 8 weeks, never. I mean, because I'm flying it. I'm not, listen, I don't get all picky. I mean, I find it, I get it, and then if you're going to do it, you just need to source it and get it here. I mean, when you make a decision, you just got to make it and go. The problem is people are just sitting on the edge. It's either going to, I mean, listen, if you haven't chosen barbecue gloves, there's a likelihood that you can sell this. Because even here's the point, because even if you, because you just found out the price matters, okay? Go get a product and do what he always going to do. Go down and sell that thing for cheap. Well, you're not going to make it. I don't care. I'll go figure out how to sell my item cheaper than everybody else and make $2 an item and only make $1,000 a month, and they were making $10. I don't care. I'll take my $1,000 and be happy. So price matters. I mean, you're not going to be able to, I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do. It's all different. Everybody has a different angle. I'm just trying to figure out a hustle that I'm just trying to create consistent income over and over and over again. It has to change every day. It changes. I mean, you're finding out. Ollie's finding out right now. It changes daily. Business changes daily. That business changes all the time. There's new products. That's why I'm telling you, these guys that got one product doing 80 grand a month, that's scary to me. You know what? I lived that way my whole life. I lived with 80 grand months that then turned into 0 months. And that's what happens, because you might do it forever, but you know what? I'm not risking my whole entire security of my life on one product. Do you have one now or three? You had 2 of them. You just launched a new one, didn't you, Ollie, before these ones you just talked about?
Yeah, so I launched remember, I think I told you in the last conversation, we launched a PlayStation product. So that was back in the electronics niche.
Yeah.
So that one actually sold pretty well, and again, it ran into an issue with manufacturing quality.
Real.
So I'm not gonna give up on that one, but I do know that electronics are kind of iffy boat.
Really?
Yeah. So I have 2 more products right now that are I'm hoping to launch in the next. It's probably gonna be about another 3 weeks after, for them to actually get over here. And one of them is a bamboo product, and the other one is the wool ball product.
Every product that's selling on there is potential to. If you market and you have money, you can get almost in any category you want if you got enough money. Because it's promotion. Mm-hmm. How much promotion can you bring out? How much money, and so if somebody's got $25,000 and you guys are launching the same deal, then they can catch you and overwhelm you quickly. So I think you just have to make a decision and go with it is really the deal. So anyway, the course I'm going to share with you real quick. I'm going to share you the inside, and this is I'm going to share with you the inside of the membership area in the course. I'm not gonna. I'm still process of building and such, but I'll give you like the structure so you can see what it looks like.
Okay.
So this is just the inside of the course, and so this is a free content area, and there'll be a toolbox, and then there's a whole bunch of lessons that just basically is the outline of what I do, and then there's access to the weekly web webinars, and then we go through basics all the way, some of it, and then we go through just all the stuff that I've done a lot of already, but it's just in one location. But I have some things that we're adding, like there's some similar things, like I'm gonna give listings of products like the bolos that you guys get in ASM, the opportunity products. I'm going to do something similar to that, but just under the parameters that I search for. So it'll be under my AmaSuite and Jungle Scout numbers. So I'm going to do a combination, a weekly list, or, well, I don't know how often I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do a list that'll be up there that I do that has Jungle Scout numbers, has AmaSuite numbers in it, and everything. So, like, this is, we just go through initial suppliers, and we just do. This lesson, we're going to be searching for a product. So it just goes through in different places. We go and do stuff. Talks about how to get a supplier. So basically, it's just from people who aren't launching a lot of products. It's not for some. Here's the deal. It's just a theory and a way in which I do product selection and ways I've heard other successful people to do it. So I'm sharing everything that I do in one place is really what it is. Because I think people have the biggest problem, I think all people, is you get caught up. Am I making a decision or not? Well, let's make a decision that's in the middle. You know what I mean? And I think that's my thought process. Let's make a decision that's safe and not try to, be a millionaire. And, I'm not looking for a product that's going to sell 40,000 because there's a whole lot of competition in there. So my idea is to try to get, that wool ball deal, only reason I'm telling you, I've heard that 4 times, so that means that product is starting to build that momentum. I think we need to get more news stories out there about it, and because I think that's going to be a trending time. It's going to get bigger. Right now, I'm telling you, the hottest thing in the world right now is those women's water bottles are so hot. I mean, you've already, if you haven't got there, you're on the backside of that trend. But bamboo, man, if you can get a bamboo product, it's a good thing right now. And stuff trends like that. So anyway, that's what it looks like. It's nothing. We still got a lot, and there's tons and tons of hours, but you know, we're just trying to put it all in a location where everybody can see it all and look at it all, and then but the difference is that you'll be able to get me on the phone. You'll be able to, I mean, you'll be able to get me through Messenger. You'll be able to do all those things once you're in the course. So you know, and if I don't know it, we'll call Ollie up and get him to answer the questions.
All right.
So anyway, it's going to launch on 11th. We're going to do I'm basically going to go. I'm going to do 2 hours there that I'm going to talk about what we have and what my strategy is. And again, and I don't hide that a lot because I don't think it's genius. I just think it's common sense. Anyway. Any other things anybody needs anymore? So if you haven't signed up for the link, Zach, if you go to the website, it's on the front of the website at AmazonGorillas.com.
Okay. I'll get to that.
Now, Rob, is it something I should look through this, do a little more research for Jungle Scout and AmaSuite to purchase that as far as getting some one-on-one time with you?
Yeah, if you'd like, I mean, Joe, even if you want, I mean, I'll do it either way. I'll do one pre and one after if you want. If you'd like to look at it and do, if you'd like just to meet up with me like we're doing now, and we sit here and we do search and I show you both of them before you buy it or not, I'll do it either way. So, I mean, I'm okay to give my time before you buy anything is my point. If you want to look at it prior, and if you don't buy it, you don't buy it. 9 out of 10 people, if I show them what I do with it, they're like, okay, this makes sense. So that would be the only thing I'd say about that, Joe.
Hey, Rob, talking about AmaSuite, as you can see, it's like morning here, but I was just about to get to bed. So what I'll do is I'll let AmaSuite run in the background. But quickly, can you just go through a few quick filters that you use through AmaSuite?
Okay, so when I use AmaSuite, my big thing is that, remember, I'm not looking for one product. I'm looking for a product that is a lead, like a sales lead in a category of a product. Like I'm telling you right now, I've seen that wool ball come up several times in my stuff. That's why I know it's coming, because I know it depending on how you search. So when I search, I move it around. Lately, I've been doing searches in and going into other categories, which, you know, hot sellers and things like that, just to give me some different deals. So, but parameter-wise, I want anything that I'm going to have anything to do, you know, just trying to find, because I want a combination. I want a combination of low reviews, a lower BSR, not fulfilled by, I would prefer it not to be all fulfilled by Amazon for sure, no more than 2 or 3. So I'm looking for lower number of reviews. I'd like to have the amount of reviews under. I mean, if I'm looking for the golden nugget, I want the number of reviews to be under 200 and have a BSR under 10,000, and be sold by a merchant. You know, I mean, if you want me to find a product, think about that. If you can find something in a category where a guy has under 200 reviews and he is under 10,000 BSR and he's fulfilled by merchant, that's ultimately what I want. You know what I mean? Like I want a 5,000 BSR with 200 reviews fulfilled by merchant. That's the product I want. Because, but that's not what I'm going to try to sell, in that sense that could be great, but there either has to be so much money on one page that you could get in on like 2 or 3 guys. Like I got a client that just did yesterday. He started selling his product. He sold 15 in the first 2 days, I think. But he found a product where the top 3 guys were both being fulfilled Two of them no, all of them are being fulfilled by merchant. They were doing $40,000 a month between the three of them. So all he did was get the product and fulfill it FBA, and you know, here he is. I mean, he just started, so we'll see how that works out for him. So ideally, some of the searches I do, I always search by weight. I mean, you should. I mean, there's no reason to look up. I mean, the reason you use AmaSuite is to cut down the amount of searches you can do. Now, that doesn't mean you can't find a product without AmaSuite. I mean, it happens every day. Ollie did it. I did it. You know, it just allows me to work through more numbers. But you should keep switching up. You should keep switching up way in which you do it. You should try it differently. You know, if you're going to look for stuff, I mean, if you're going to do it overnight like that, then the best part is just to do something like I just talked about. Go in there and look for a product that has under 200 BSR. Look for a product that has fulfilled by merchant on it. You know what I mean? Look for a product with a BSR under 5,000. Look for a product that, you know, that's under £1. You know what I mean? I call that really fish hooking, you know. But so you think about it, if you can get a price point, man, I'm really trying to push up towards more money. Because what's happening is everybody's coming into this business and they're all trying to buy $1 or $2 products. Everybody. So if I can get out of that $2, I want to buy an $8 product that I sell for $40, you know. And those are out there. I mean, under 10 you can do that, but you know, you just have to have enough money to be able to get into that market. And so people don't have money. All these, you know, there's only so many magic products, you know. So I would suggest search for some of those criteria that may get you outside of the norm, but will keep you in the BSR category, you know, in that range. So then once you pull those out and you do the preview, you know, when you pull your preview and you're able to get to the HTML with all the products in it, yeah. Well, once you get there and you're able to go in, that's where, to me, where I can quickly look at those products, because if I narrow it down and I know those are the products I'm looking for, and they're like, it's like, you know what it is? Have any of you guys ever? Well, you're not there, but it's a British company that filmed it. You ever heard of the show Gold Rush?
Yeah. I watched Gold Rush.
Okay, so Gold Rush, basically these guys are out there, and there's this old Klondike guy, and these new gold miners are up there, and they're digging for gold, and they're just stripping the ground, and they're just digging, and you know, some days they just hit the $1 million, and the next day they don't hit nothing, and he's like, well, here's your problem. You're not digging test holes. So that's all you're doing when you're searching for AmaSuite, is you're digging test holes to see if there's any gold in the pan. So what you're doing with AmaSuite is you're digging that hole just straight down, trying to find where a gold nugget might be in there that would lead you to more sales, or a product that is in a bigger category, like a gold vein. Because a great product category is a gold vein. So you drill that hole down, and that's what it's doing. It's drilling narrow instead of drilling a big, wide path. So AmaSuite allows you to drill down and find products with attributes that lead you to winning products. So, you know, what else do I use? I mean, sometimes I'll go and look for products that have bad ratings and high reviews. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a particular way. It's just a matter of, I guess there's a middle ground that I kind of go for. So, but you got to balance it out. When you search, you know, a different area like that, and let's say you go with, I'm going to go with a lower review rating. You know, I mean, you can't all of a sudden then go, well, I want a lower review rating and I want it under 3,000 BSR. But remember, there's products, let's assume you get a lemon zester, right? There's a lemon zester in that product category that you're looking for that's on the second page for me. If I can find a lemon zester on the second page that has enough sales, doesn't have that many reviews, okay, that means the front page has people selling, and I can eventually work up on there. I'm trying to get that second page, so that one's not going to look like, but that doesn't mean that you couldn't be over here and you might find a product on the front page that's selling high, and you go in and look at the category, I guess. So if you find a lemon zester on page 1 that has a BSR of 300, because when you're searching below something, you know, I mean, you still can find products that way. So that variance is just a matter of cutting out the real fat, which is the price isn't there. You know, you don't want to go find a product category with 2,000 reviews on it. You know, I mean, why are we even looking at anything with that high a review? Because they're probably dominating that category. So think about it. If you eliminate products below 500, you're hoping that you're going to run into a category because their BSR is high enough. That means they're like Ollie. You know, his BSR was high enough and he had enough reviews that he kind of stayed there. Well, if someone's got 2,000, you're going to have a hard time unless you're buying reviews like his people are. What else do I do on AmaSuite that I'm trying to think out off the cuff? I just don't think you want to get caught up so many times in this is exactly what I do every time. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So I do vary it. And I know it kind of bounces all over the place a little bit, but I just, man, I'm looking for, products, I found products by accident. I mean, you know, I was looking for a product the other day and, you know, next thing you know, I find something that was listed on the side of the, it, you know, and then I'm like, oh, well, let me look at this, and then I go down and I run the same, you know, the same deals. You could do your same parameters and just change one category. So, you know, when you search that big number, once you get all the numbers, you know you can just sit there. If you just sit there and you search them all up, and then you can just apply the filters different ways. Does that make sense? So once you have all that stuff on AmaSuite up, and you searched all those things with those basic parameters, you're then going to come back in there, and you can sort them any way you want. All AmaSuite is a big sorting machine. I mean, that's in reality what it does. It's a big sorting machine. And when you sort them, then you can go filter them. I'm going to tell you this. If Jungle Scout could have about 3 more attributes, I mean, it would make AmaSuite, you know, it needs the filtering mechanism. And I've told Greg Mercer that a bunch of times. It needs to be able to take that stuff and search it and filter it for me. If it did that, we'd all be just buying it. We'd just be buying Jungle Scout. But AmaSuite tends to do something that something else doesn't do. It allows you to search deep and deep and deep, and you're able to go in and you're able to get the parameters that you like at that time. So once you make that big search and you wake up in the morning and you get all that search number done, then you make sure you just go back and apply those filters in and out, and then go back and preview them. Save that search. Always save that search. You can go back to it. So the more products you can get in a search, and then you can just apply the filters different ways. I mean, you could be real narrow. I mean, you could go, I mean, you can pick reviews and go, I want people that have reviews between 100 and 200 reviews that are fulfilled by merchant.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to be honest, what I'm doing is I've got someone on Fiverr to go through Amazon and get me every little link, every little subcategory, every subcategory. I've just got her to copy and paste that link. I'm sticking AmaSuite, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let it run overnight. I might have to, because they're gonna be so many, I might have to split them up into 2 or 3. But what I'm gonna do is then once, you know, when I wake up in the morning and it's all done, then like you said, I can apply all these filters any way I like. But then it's just more about getting that product category in there, and then that way you'll be able to search it.
Here's the deal. Don't let AmaSuite make you too critical. That's all. You know, because it can, I mean, it's a filtering system. It can filter everything out. You know what I mean? Like, it can make you filtered. Some of this you're going to have to go on your own ingenuity, your own sense. I mean, Ollie, when he brought his product, when you bought that baby product, why did you buy it?
Because I had a baby.
There you go. No, that's exactly. Yeah, I would have guessed that, because I mean, lots of times, man, it's stuff that makes sense, you know, that you're using in your life, and you're like, well, I know everybody could use this, and next thing you know, you got it.
Problem with that is, what if you're just weird? What if you need something that no one else in the world does?
What now?
No, I was just saying, what if a lot of people say, you know, go for what you like, go for your, you know, what you're passionate about, go for what you know. But what if you're one of a kind? What if, you know, you don't, what your interests don't match with the majority of interests of other people?
Right. No, exactly. And I mean, all I'm saying, you don't have to be interested in what other people. What I would say is find something that you think people are interested in. Meaning, it doesn't have to be your passion, but your passion has to come from the fact that you believe other people are interested in it. So I'm saying it doesn't have to be your passion. Your passion has to be, well, I know that other people are into this. I've talked to Joe, and he said he liked it, and, you know, I mean, you have to have your own conviction. Man, it's hard for me not to get a product and fall in love, and I get disappointed when they don't work. I get disappointed when I get down to the end of the run and I can't make the price work. So.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I'm doing is, obviously, us guys, we're small time. We only can invest $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. But what I'm looking at is like, look, my local wholesalers, for example, they're buying one product, but they're buying in true wholesale. They're buying, a container, the exact same product. Surely they've kind of already done some research. So I'm just going to my wholesaler and saying, okay, what clearance items have we got? And I might make a bit of money off the clearance item itself, but what I'm really looking to do is I'm going to sell the clearance item for a higher price, and if it works, then this is something maybe I can go out and private label. And also, I know because it's clearance, there's a lot of other guys who are buying this product, this particular supplier, but obviously they're not going to be doing that for long because the wholesalers clearing it out.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's exactly. I love that idea. I mean, you kind of have to take advantage of the ideas that are the assets that are around you. You know, I mean, I got somebody I know in the Philippines, and I'm like, man, you need, like, okay, here's the next one. Coconut oils, coconut stuff's been blowing up, but it's fixing to even get crazier. Stuff made out of coconut. I don't care. If you can get a coconut bamboo product, you're in. Coconut bamboo silicone shorts.
Sounds like something off of Gilligan's Island.
Exactly. Coconut. So I guess the bottom line of what I said, because it kind of goes all over the place there when I talk about AmaSuite, but I guess I just don't want you to get too narrowed in there where you can't pick a product. Don't get so much into that, because you're not trying to pick the product from AmaSuite. You're just trying to find some nuggets in the middle of a bunch of products. Because you're not buying the product, you're buying the category. You know what I mean? Like, Ollie's competing with every other person that's selling his product. That's why earlier we talked about do you just want to copy the exact same? How close is your product to how close is your competition, Ollie, to your product?
Almost identical.
Hey, by the way, those guys are really smart because they basically went and found someone that was successful and just copied you. That's how you become successful a lot in this world. Don't create the wheel, just go invent a new one. Or just exactly copy it.
Right.
If it's working. That's why I'm telling you right now, if you want to quit looking for products, go out tomorrow and just find people selling go take your AmaSuite and search for people who are the best sellers. Go in, look at their stores, and pick something off their shelf that they're selling, selling. You'll probably be more successful with that. Because they're doing it, It's not as sexy, but, Anyway, that's just, listen, I change how I look all the time. I mean, I'm not trying to buy 100 products anyway. I mean, I'm just trying to find them as I go. But the 3 I got now, I'll bet you, and just trying to find the combination, I've got 50 or 100 hours in it. I've had more problems sourcing it than anything. Because I had to source a product out of Turkey, Japan, and then I'm still in the matter of debating what I'm doing with the one product, and because they've got it in Turkey, I just don't. And they got it in America actually too. So I'm actually looking at a U.S. company, so it's a combination of 3 products. But I'm going to end up being able to sell 3 products, and I'm going to be able to sell a combo. Well, geniuses, I'm going to head to his house. It's 11:37. It's 6 in the morning where you're at, Zach.
Yeah.
Joe.
Just come 5:30.
Joe. Hey, Joe. Why don't you private message me, and tomorrow, if you want to get together, or just message me, and we'll pick a time, and I'll walk through and I'll show you how I use it. Yeah, Joe. I see you click. Maybe I didn't click your mic off. There's your mic's off, Joe.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. To put something together.
All right. If you'll private message me, I mean, I'm doing appointments tomorrow, so.
Okay.
So, and then I'll show you, and then you can make a decision from there. I'm telling you, if I could get a couple changes to Jungle Scout, I'd be more apt to use Jungle Scout. But Jungle Scout just does something different. Now, I don't know. I would say if you said you got to have one tool and I can't, and I got to search and it's going to take me longer to find something I like, then I would buy Jungle Scout. But it doesn't do what AMASuite does. It's a lot less information. I want as much information as I can. I want to know what its BSR and that. I want to compare all of the products in that category is what I want. I want to know what the BSR in that whole category is, and I can do that. I can check the whole top 100, what all their sales are. I can tell everything about a product category, and that's what I want, because that's going to give you more indication whether you can compete or not.
Right.
So call me tomorrow, send me a message tomorrow, and we'll do it.
Perfect.
All right.
I really appreciate it. You said, you're buying one or the other. I really appreciate your time as far as your expertise and actually answering questions in the one-on-one. So that's sort of what I'm buying. So I really appreciate your attitude, your energy, and all your give back. I much appreciate it.
You're welcome. Hey, if I didn't enjoy what I was doing, I mean, it would be horrible. But I love hanging out with you guys. But you know what? Listen, I promise you, I've learned more. I make more money because of meetings like this than I do anything else, to tell you the truth. I hear more stuff in meetings like this and talking to people in these small groups. And even I learn stuff all the time, guys. Like, the biggest issue when people start out, I think as you get more into this, you should spend more time reading like I do. But when you first get started, you guys, Joe, you got to simplify this thing. Zach, you got to make this as simple as you can, because if you make it too complicated, what's going to happen is you're going to be overwhelmed and you're not going to get to it. You're going to just sit there. And so, listen, there's a product out there. Find one that you think's the best and just buy into it. Okay? Make sure that it doesn't have. I mean, here's the deal. It's easy parameters. I'll give them to you. If the product doesn't have at least $100,000 to $50,000 to $100,000 in sales on the front page, well, what are you trying to get in there for? That means the second page is going to have 10,000. It's got too little competition. Okay, so I want a product to be strong for about 3 pages, 4 max. So 16 times 4. That's the amount of products you want in a category. If you go look at those wool balls that Ollie's using, I mean, it goes like 2 pages back. So it's a smaller category. It just depends on But I always try to land softly. I can land hard on page 2. I try to make sure that I can get on page 2 no matter what in 30 days, and I can usually get there in the first week and a half or 2 weeks if I have a good product launch. So
that's great.
But Joe, you get your head out of so much information. Once you decide you're going to get a product and you look, quit going and doing anything else except look for product, because every minute that you're out looking at how to write a review or how to list a product or anything besides looking for a product is 100%. Every second you spend not doing that is preventing you from getting a product, because getting a product is the only thing that can get your business going. Looking for reviews mean nothing. Looking at webinars about whatever else there is, if it's not about buying a product or picking a product, then you're absolutely, there's no other choice, but you're slowing it down because the only decision you got is to get a product. You can learn how to do a listing once you get a product, and that's why I like the product sample course that I try to deal with. And it sometimes alters my choice in products because of it. Because if I can't get a low enough MOQ, I'm not going to buy 1,000 of anything in my life that I don't know that I can compete. Just not doing. I'm not risking 10. I can all day long take $5,000 and buy lots and make 25%, 20% on your money. You just have to keep building it up. But that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take $1,000 investment and turn it into a, $25,000 a month sales and make 5,000 eventually. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to make 100 because I don't think I'm ever going to be in a category big enough unless somehow I buy, you know, I'm in the I hit the $1 million run and I get a spiralizer before anybody else does a spiralizer. Hey, by the way, if you're and you Zach, you sell in on UK, right?
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, you need to spend as much time as you can. Are you searching UK or are you searching US?
UK mainly, but the thing here is the US trends. They get obviously they're a bit ahead of us, so
right. That's exactly
in the US.
Right. No, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Get over and start searching America. And I know a lady that just about 4 months ago went and did the spiralizer and made crazy money over there with that thing because nobody was doing it. So I think that is a real action, is that America leads a lot of product. And it works the same way in America too. When I look at Google Trends when I get a new product, you'll see lots and lots of times that it will first start in California on the West Coast, and then you'll see the East Coast. So the closer you are to the water, you'll start seeing the trend grow in, you know, to the center of the country. So I would definitely spend some time, Zach, searching in America for products.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, I mean, I think you can show up with stuff that, you know, I mean, I keep thinking, I swear I'm going to go sell barbecue gloves in the UK and make $1 million.
The business is not good enough here.
Yeah, they don't do enough barbecuing. That's the problem.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, to be honest, the products, obviously, there's an infinite amount of products out there. That's not really the problem. It's just, obviously, it's the whole process bundled together. You found it, source it, you know, get it here, then obviously, you know, do your launch, pre-launch, and it's just obviously a combination of getting everything done more than, oh, you know, I'm not sure which product to get.
I think if you can, once you make a decision, see, don't get caught up in buying one product. Get caught up in buying a product. You know what I'm saying? Like, buy a product and know that you're going to sample it. Is my thought process is, let me get less than $1,000 worth of this product in. You know, if you don't have $1,000 to gamble on a product and you're trying to make this whole business on $1,000 and that's all you got, you're going to have to, like, I mean, you're going to have risk. I mean, you know, you can sit there and keep holding your money at the gambling table, but until you get in the game, you can't possibly win. And you know what? Lots of business started with 1,000 and lost it all. So lots of them made $1 million. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a matter of you got to do something. But listen, products sell on Amazon. They do sell.
Yeah, definitely.
Every day, no matter what product you're looking at, someone's buying it. You know that. You can go look at it.
Also, you don't have to private label it. You can get it from China, sell it as is.
Right. No, exactly. That's why I'm not big into all that PL stuff. I don't want to PL stuff. I can't even get the Chinese to answer a question. How in the hell am I going to make them fix a product and change it? Now, people do it, and I want to strangle people because I ask them 3 questions in an email and I can't get any of them answered. Like, they'll completely not answer the question. Like, why is your font red? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's like they'll ask me the dumbest thing on earth. I mean, like, I'm putting stuff in, you know, highlights and please answer these questions, and I'll still take 3 emails to get a question answered. I could not imagine. Now, I'm not saying there aren't suppliers out there that could do this. I'm just saying I've had problems with, and I think lots of people have, is they just are horrible communicators, and trying to me to communicate changes that I want to make to a product, you know. But here's my deal. I eliminate a bunch of time in my life because I will, I'll just have an inspection done on the product. So if I'm paying $30, I don't pay the $70 till I have someone on site look at the product, make sure the product. Leanne was here earlier. I know she just got a product shipped in that was bad from AliExpress. Horrible that happened to her. But you know, I mean, I'm not getting any product out of China that I'm spending any money at all and not spending $200 to have somebody look at that product.
Yeah, obviously, you can't take that risk. And going back to private labeling, I know a guy who doesn't live too far away from me. He's importing from China. He's ordering crazy amounts. He's ordering a container of each product. But he's trading on Amazon and on eBay. But he's sending out 2,000 products a day.
Wow.
And I mean, to be honest, he's maybe got a few items private labeled, maybe of like say 3, 4. But everything else he's just getting in and just selling it on Amazon, eBay, and he's got his 2,000 products a day.
If you listen, I know that I'm going to hit a lick. I'm going to hit something. It's going to be a grand slam someday. I'm going to get a $40,000 or $50,000 a month product. I'm going to get one of them because I'm going to keep throwing them up there till I do. But I'm okay. I'm okay to make 5,000. I'm okay to make 2. I'm okay to make 1 because $1,000 spends just like other money, and I'll pick up the $1,000 crumbs. Okay, that's not. I don't have a problem with that. I talked to somebody yesterday who just started, and she's doing $1,000 a week. And she works part-time, single mother, part-time, doing $1,000 a week in sales. She's making $1,200 a month extra in her life. First product, works full-time, did this in her part-time. All right, guys, I'm going. Good night, Zach. Have a good sleep. I'm going to bed, too, so we're going to bed at the same time. All you other guys, see you, Joe. You call me tomorrow, and Andy, we'll see you later.
Yeah, good night, Rob.
All right, good night, guys.
Yeah.